we're live. We didn't do any. We had some technical difficulties. Not really. Just kind of being a little silly. Had some things going on. All right, but here we are.
Oh, are we all here?
We're here.
Are we here or are we there?
Yes.
I'm staring into the camera.
Yes.
I can see where. Really focus on these. It's like.
I know. It's like, where did he go? Maybe he is a clone. See?
Yeah.
This whole talk about him being a clone.
So did the clones.
I missed last week. So I don't know what's going on.
No, that was a discussion about she didn't kill him on the way home,
She did. What are you talking about?
and this is a clone.
Oh, got it. You
This-
have been
this-
acting like more nice.
We are.
It's the
Been talking
17th.
for-
It's the 17th Brandon we've found.
There's so
Um,
many.
Actually, it's
So.
the 18th.
18th, sorry. All right. So, welcome. We took a little hiatus. Everybody's feeling better. Everything's good.
It's double extra strength hiatus.
Yes, extra strength. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go with it. Welcome back. Here we are at New Trippers again. So, let's go through a couple sponsors, some cool things that are going on. I'm super excited about a lot of things, and I'll try not to tell you all about them. Is it peaking at all? Is it peaking? Or is it just a little low?
Some peeking towards the
You can try. Yeah, just because there's only one mic now.
Tomorrow.
So either way, it should be fine. As long as it doesn't peak. I'm super happy. It doesn't speak. I jacked it up. So,
Which macaroni do you
we'll go
get?
through sponsors real quick. Of course, Arc Night. Some cool new stuff that came out from Arc Night this last week. Okay, so check out arcnight.com. It'll take you to arcnight.squarespace.com. But Arc Nights, they have some new stuff. Remember, we have these little grids, like the wizard spells. Oh, gosh, I put them in another room. But they have wizard spells that show the radius and everything of, it's a 15-foot diameter. We have like clear plastic stuff that they made. We use them on our Tuesday night show, but they also came up with items. So they have a new items thing for 5th edition. So it'll have an item that you can place on the board, and it actually tells you what it does and the radius of what it does and those kind of things. And it's clear, and it's clear in plastic, so it can actually you can put it on the map. So you'll see what kind of things it'll affect. So it's really cool. I did put it on our. Yeah, I posted on our Time to Tabletop Facebook and our Time to D&D and RPGs Facebook. If anybody wants to check it out, that's one of our sponsors. That's where we give away cool stuff. But yeah, they just came out with this, I think it was 2 days ago. So that's pretty rad. The other one, of course, Ambient Realms. Of course, some of these tunes that we play and some of these fun sound effects that we do, and I think he's in LA, Ambient Realms, the gentleman from Ambient Realms, doing some pretty cool stuff, working on Rideshare, the movie. He's doing the soundtrack for that. So I'm trying to get I'm just going to push one. That is an actual Ambient Realms sound. And then one of my favorites, that definitely is one of my favorites, because it's called Hit to the Groin. I was like,
should ask him to do the.
I'm going to record that one. Forget that. I think
That
we
was
should
amazing.
record that one. Yeah, I'm going to record those. Because I just haven't. I should find the time. I was doing voice stuff for our thing. I might as well.
We'll do it right now.
Huh? Do it. And then just send it to me.
Thank you.
Email it to me, and then I'll see if I can get it on there by the end of the show. Those are our sponsors for tonight. Soon we will be having some other sponsors. I know I keep saying soon, but I've got to limit some of them. We've got so many people that want to do so many cool things. So it's kind of cool when you got to go, well, let me get good timing, because everybody wants to do cool stuff. So I'm excited about that. Let's talk a little bit about our schedule for next week. If anybody wants to tune in, peeps. And I'm going all digital. I'm not printing anything. There you go. And there we go. All right. So Upcoming events and next week's schedule. Upcoming events, of course, I do run the D&D and RPGs in Sacramento. So we do have an event coming up this Saturday. That's out in Rockland at the Junction. We've got a good 20-some people going to show up there and play RPGs from, I think there's, was Fate? I think Fate core rules are going to be out there. They're going to play some Empires out there, D&D of course. So there's some cool stuff going on out there. Also this Saturday, special event happening on this channel. Okay? So tune in. Saturday at 11 o'clock out of this studio. We are going to be running what's called Numenera. They have a new Kickstarter out, so they wanted us to promote their Numenera 2 that's coming out. So there's some of us that are playing this weekend. I'll be behind the clicky board, but I'll be here. Numenera 2. That will be a special What Game Did You Bring session that we're going to have this Saturday at 11 till about 2 or so. Check it out because it's a great system. If you ever looked at it, it's beautiful artwork, beautiful writing. Monty Cook Games, if anybody knows it's from Monty Cook Games, check it out. Not cut it out, but check it out. Tuesday, 6:30, Infinity Tower, of course. Wednesday, Adrenochrome. I think we're back on the cycle of Blades in the Dark. If not, I think we might be doing something a little bit different on that Wednesday night, so that might be kind of cool. Jim has been working on something for Adrenochrome on Wednesdays. The other Jim, sorry, not our Jim here.
Not cool Jim.
The gym that does that.
Not Jim 1, but Jim.
Wait.
We call the other Jim. My wife calls the other Jim Jacket Jim
Okay,
because
just cool jacket.
he wears like a bomber kind of leather jacket all the time. So when I talk to my wife, she's like, "Jacket Jim." That's the other Jim. So it was really funny. It's really So, and then we'll be back here Thursday. We may be moving our time to 7 p.m., so please stay tuned. I know that might work out a little bit better for some of our schedules and just in life in general, because even though we love doing this, we actually do other things. Kinda. Some of us do.
Oh, the salad.
Salad
Where's
to
the
floor.
puppy?
Instead of seed to salad to floor.
On the floor.
So, that's pretty much anything that's going on
Are
here.
you sure?
That's all channel stuff.
Are you sure? Sure.
So I want to check in with you guys. I know that Jim's got some things that we want to. Fighting my wife, she said she'll put her vote in off camera. I said, well, you have to speak loud. But seriously, I just talked to her and she's like, I don't want to be on camera. But she's so cute. So we are going to go around the table and see how everybody's weeks go. Everybody has a little bit of turbulence and the shields are down on the Starship Enterprise because I'm shaking their camera. All right. So every time I touch this, guys, you guys gotta go.
Whoa.
No, that happened on Tuesday. What? Yeah, that happened on Tuesday because I was hitting my head on that thing. Hans hit his head on it. It's pretty funny. No, we haven't played in a couple weeks, so I want to see how everybody's doing. A couple of things that we might want to mention because we're here and I think we're an RPG show, but we venture out into a variety show sometimes. Which
We are variety.
we
hour.
are
We
a
bring the
variety show. We can be a variety of shows sometimes. So, anything got any news for what you've been doing this week? I know that all of us, as the slow blink comes from Sarah, she's like, no, I'm not doing anything. And everybody's, going, oh my gosh, it's been quite a week.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear where everybody's coming from. What's everybody been up to for a few minutes?
Lots of homework.
Lots of work and life.
Lots of work and lots of life.
That's what she said.
Much life. Very wow.
So, you're the captain of the bag team. What have you been up to?
Also the captain of the finger gun. Working. Been training to do manager stuff because my store wants me to do manager stuff. Had a meeting today. It was great.
Can you stop being responsible, please? That's what happens when you work and you become and you're responsible and you show up
No,
on
we
time and you're
actually,
good to people. All of a sudden they're like, "Well, why don't you just run the place?"
Yeah.
I didn't want to. No.
We had
Nobody shows up on time.
we work for Nugget, and so we have this leadership Nugget thing. It's like 25 people in the company. They like, or you apply and they'll pick you, and then I'm part of it. But we had to do your top 5 strengths. Mine are different. I was expecting them.
Curls.
Oh, dude, Strength Finder?
Yeah, the Strengths Finder.
Oh,
that
really?
thing is super fun. Yeah.
Like,
My
Wow.
number one.
mine was spot on.
I know, right?
They're really
My
good.
number one, I was like, I guess that is me, was input.
Yep.
I'm a collector of things,
That's one of mine.
and I like to have,
Input, learning,
I like to,
analysis,
I like
just
to-
all the boring things.
yeah, and I'm like, I like to basically store things in my mind banks for later, and it's like, you're probably really good at trivia. I'm like, damn, you got me there.
Could you say that in the form of a question?
But yeah, so that was cool and fun.
That's awesome
And
because
then-
I've done those.
Yeah,
Those are fun.
we actually had to make a speech today of whatever we did, and I did the importance of gaming. Yeah,
You're after my heart.
fight for sure. Everyone was just like,
What?
what's LARPing? I'm like,
Oh.
or they asked, because I mentioned.
Let me show you. I've got a sword in my car.
I mentioned,
You too?
I mentioned Magic the Gathering. I'm like, what's Magic the
Oh,
Gathering? I'm like,
great.
I've got a sword in my backpack.
but it was
Shit.
cool.
Stone on my side.
It was cool. They're like, yeah, you brought energy. I'm like,
Not the silliest thing, but really most workplaces you go to really just want somebody that gives a shit.
That's
who knew? Right?
Isn't that I mean, that's the craziest thing. It's so hard to, in any place you go to work, you trying to find somebody that gives a shit. That's the hardest part.
give
When,
a shit at work.
and when you do though, no, but when you
Well,
do, everybody's like that you're the
That's why I
go-to
left.
person, right? You become like, oh, Sarah, oh, Jim, let's, and you're like, why are you coming to me?
That's why I was at work until 3 a.m. every night. for
Because you care.
all week, because I give so many shits.
That's why I stopped doing
Far
what I was
too
doing,
many
is 'cause
shits, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
you're just
didn't
like,
care for a
I care
long
too
time.
much about this shit.
Yeah, it's a great quality to have. You can get sucked into some things, but it's a great quality. That's awesome. I love that stuff because I used to do. It's called card sorting and stuff like that. Similar stuff that I used to do at Apple. And you pick your top 3, your middle 3, and same concept of the system you guys were talking about, and you find out how
How to work on
self
your strengths instead
yeah,
of working
well,
on what
using your
you're
strengths
on
to pull up your weaknesses and that kind of thing. And being self-reflective is the hardest part of anybody's journey of anything in life. But the heart for gaming, I was like, oh, there's a cool thing that I'll get to my turn, but I will get there, I promise. No, I love to hear that. So, homework.
Oh,
Are you keeping up on all your essays?
yes. Oh God.
Oh God, essays are the worst. Local.
He didn't give me sleep either because he was so busy with his.
Yeah, yesterday night I stayed up all night doing a stupid fields project,
Nice.
and he didn't even grade it today.
Ah, that's a big one.
But you don't have to do it tonight.
No, it was due. Yes, it was due.
I understand
today.
that, but if he grades it tomorrow, you don't have to do it tonight.
Yeah.
You know me, dumbass, trying to look at the positive.
I know.
My fault.
Stop being
My
so
bad.
positive and cheerful.
Well,
Just
yeah.
kidding, I'm just kidding.
I spend a lot of my life being very. My dad calls it the black period of Scooter. I was very angry, got in a lot of fights, and I hated the world. But
That got boring.
yeah, I was like, nothing to do here. So, all right.
That's my theory on how you get
Yeah,
over
just-
homework, anything hard, anything that just tragedy in your life, either a death or somebody losing you or anything that's just like emotionally awful. You just get sick and tired of being sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
draining.
I'm done doing that.
I'm trying to back up on it. Sounds like it's raining. Oh, we got some audio, weird sounds, whatever. Yeah. So, our lovely producer is trying to tell me, and I was like, I don't know how to fix that crap. So, we'll fix it some other day. It might be this audio. Maybe I'll change it to something else.
Can I talk about the salad palace now?
Yes, we are going to. Here's where the variety, and I'll go right in the camera. Here's where the little bit of the variety show. Maybe I'll edit this and put it in its own little video. So we're gonna do a variety couple minutes. Jim has some things going on. I'll just have him. Here, let me play this song. All right. I'll just put it to you. You are up, sir.
All right. So my son Jason is in 7th grade, and he has a math project, which usually we don't do math projects. So this one it's around I think like statistics and doing surveys and things like that. So as an exercise, all the students have to come up with an idea for a product, some sort of invention.
How
And
cool is that?
he has to come up with survey results from both a group of adults and a group of peers, so other students. And his idea is something he called the salad palace, which is a device that you would literally just put seeds into, and it would grow all the ingredients that you need to make a salad. But it would do the growing, the harvesting, cutting, and basically spit out a salad, because he loves salads. He also included things like nuts and cheese.
Cheese is crucial to a good salad.
But I'm just saying,
Cheese would be hard to-
at least his goals,
to grow.
you know, some people set their goals low. He's got
So anyway,
a little cow in there.
it's not due till next week, but he still has about half a dozen adult inputs needed. So I was going to ask all y'all if you wanted to chime in with your thoughts,
It's Galdish.
and
Pure Galdish.
there's no
That's right.
wrong answer. So he interviewed me today, and his first question was, "Would you buy it?" And I said, "No."
See, and
You
I
can
don't
just
eat
put your-
salads, so
I'm
no.
a,
I would
I'm
buy the
a
shit
sucker.
out of it.
I'm serious. I'm a
Yeah,
sucker,
if
and
it
I was like,
comes
I just wouldn't. But if I would,
If it comes to cheese.
You
you
can
know,
figure
so-
out the technology. I mean, it's
if I don't
genius.
have to plan a salad, I'll eat a salad all day long.
Yeah.
Planning a salad
Right.
is hard for me.
And
Well, and
keeping
if
the
I did eat
produce
salads-
fresh.
Right, it's so hard for me. I was like, if I look in the fridge and there's everything in the fridge to make a salad, I'm not having a salad.
Yeah.
But if the salad's in front of me, I was like, oh, I'll gobble it up.
Right.
And see, that's the way
What
I
is
live.
the turnaround time for each salad, for instance?
Okay.
Let's not go there.
Okay.
So,
So
There's
I
some
don't know what's
questions.
best,
Sorry,
so I can.
salad spec.
So he has a list of questions. His question.
and I should have like a disclaimer about them. Not new trippers. This is variety
Yep.
hour right now. So,
So I'll just read it. It's not that long, and then I'll post it in the Twitch chat. And then,
you can post it wherever you want.
okay.
You can post it in the world.
So
Post it in the
this
world.
so his words. My product is an automatic salad maker. You buy seeds and put them in it, add water, and it grows them for you. On the front is a screen with a choice of fruits, vegetables, nuts, and cheese. Then it makes the salad for you and it gives it to you. 1. How many of my product would you buy? 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate my product? 3. How big should the machine be? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being every day, how often would you use my product? 5. How much would you be willing to pay for it? 6. What color should it be? 7. Should it be made out of carbon fiber, metal, or glass?
Glass would be interesting.
I was thinking glass. I was like,
8. How heavy should it be?
oh, I don't know.
9. Would my product increase your productivity and happiness?
Oh.
10. Would you buy my product? Answer yes, yes, but with some changes, maybe, or no.
All right, let's answer them. I'm ready.
Me too.
I'm ready.
You just want to do it right now?
Maybe just.
Yeah, we're doing it right now. Let's do it.
All right,
Let's do it.
all right, Scooter, go.
Okay, what's the first one? What's the first question?
How many would you buy?
Oh, one.
Yeah, you don't need-
scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the product?
Don't know yet, but the idea of it, probably like an 8.
Okay. How big should it be?
The size of a wardrobe closet.
You got me pretty good.
You know, it's got to be decently tall, but not super wide.
Yep.
Like a wardrobe closet, like those portable ones that are,
Yeah.
at Home Depot. Those portable, yeah,
Like a fridge.
like a little bit wider than a fridge.
Yeah.
But yeah, concept same. You must have got a camera. That was awesome.
How often would you use it? 10,
Uh,
10 being like every day or one?
Oh, 10 would be every day. Absolutely, 10 every day, at least one.
What color should, or how much would you pay for?
I'm thinking like $9.99, like $1,000 to maybe about $1,200.
What? Oh.
That's expensive. Something make it-
Well, think about what it's
But
growing
what
this stuff.
you're- what-
It's
yes.
growing this stuff.
What
It's
color?
You can
making
feed
this stuff.
yourself every day.
I think it should be clear because it should be made of glass. It should be totally dope. Clear, like you could see the
You
stuff
can see the
happening.
soil.
I'd have to see it happening.
All right,
Yeah.
so that's
Or
so
whatever.
glass. That's the end.
Yep.
How heavy?
That I have no idea. That one's tough for me. However heavy glass and
I
dirt.
think I say no idea. Would it increase your productivity and happiness?
Absolutely. Yes. All the way 10. Billion %.
And would you buy my product? Yes, yes, with some changes, maybe, or no?
I'd say yes. And if it's built the way that I was talking about, then yeah.
It can follow through on its promise
Yeah.
to make a perfect salad. We didn't ever discuss dressing.
Follow through. You tell us.
That's okay.
You made a salad without any effort. I was like,
It's immediate.
I'm done.
Salad, all the salad you want, but you only get one dressing flavor.
Okay, well
I would-
that's a good
yeah,
point.
balsamic.
No.
All right, Sarah, you want to do?
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right, how many would you buy?
One.
One. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
10.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah, salad.
Because the technology of it's on.
This
If
was a
it
very
can
good
grow
survey
cheese
because
from a
everybody's
seed.
hearing everybody's.
Me.
If we got cheese seeds, I'm down.
And I'll understand all the other stuff.
So funny. Yeah.
I'm Benny.
How big should it be?
However big.
I'm
you see
Solid
it,
Rick.
yeah. Like the size of a bread maker, maybe? So big?
That's all I can think
You're one of
of.
those.
That's a big bread maker.
Tiny Rick was my favorite.
Rotisserie thingy.
Rotisserie salad maker.
How often would you use it on a scale of 1 to 10?
10. If it's like a 10 being every day.
Yeah. How much would you pay for it?
I would not spend $1,000. Okay, 100, 200 maybe?
I was just thinking how big I wanted it. I wanted it
Use it on a
big.
gigantic.
What?
I was imagining.
I want to push a button and go salad.
Like it's
Oh.
like the
Better
I think
say
that's
salad.
what I wanted.
like the next generation where you're like hot cocoa and it's like
Right. I was thinking like Star Trek
Like the
salad.
hot cocoa on the
yeah, but I'm still
You
cheap
know?
ass. Like I still won't spend like
My dad had an
$100.
old Nissan.
I don't have a concept of money.
Back when they were doing the Datsun to Nissan change, and he had a 280ZX, and when you leave the door open, the door is a gem.
No, it's not. It's a door.
It's a freaking door. What color should it be?
Clear.
What should it be made out of?
Whatever needs to be clear.
Clear things.
It should be hard to
Clear
see.
stuff.
What,
Take a picture.
how heavy should it be?
However heavy it needs to be.
Yeah, I don't know
Heavy
that.
listen.
That was a
Heavy
tough
stuff.
question. I think that's the only tough question I have.
Because
with
I have no
the
idea
weight.
what the material is.
That was me.
So
That was my
it's
only
very
tough one.
abstract.
Trying to get everybody.
I was
Welcome
trying
to the salad variety show.
I'm currently
Would it
Googling
increase your
how much
productivity?
Yes.
dirt is in weight.
And
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
would you buy my product?
Then I can figure out how much it would be for his wardrobe size dirt.
I don't know where's the thing. So.
For you.
It's a lot of dirt and dirty salad.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be replenishing the dirt with every.
All right, let's go.
All right. Should I just do a couple things?
Also, I have a lot of questions before I actually purchase.
No, I actually don't think I'd buy one.
Because she knows us and she would visit once a day and
well-
just come get a salad. I'm like, hello.
So you're
Sarah,
that-
I already have
because-
one.
Because
Have a
I like to
salad.
bring on different opinions.
That's fun.
It's just 99.
Okay. So you said none. How many you would buy?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
I think it's a cool concept. Probably like a 7.
All right. How big should it be?
However big it needs to be while also having
What would be the limits on the size?
the limits. I would not be wardrobe size. It needs to be
Yeah,
a
like a
logically
coffee maker.
sized
I'm so bad.
Coffee maker
product
size.
that would make sense in a home.
Like
So
big
On a table?
A microwave
on a
size.
countertop?
Microwave size.
yeah, I guess countertop, but I think that take up a lot of counter space. So I guess countertop or like water cooler size. I guess.
I mean, it could be
Water cooler?
bomb size.
Water cooler. It would be like, would you like water or salad?
How often would you use it? Never.
Never. Or I'd go to Scooter.
See, that
So
was
this
like,
wardrobe salad maker.
How much would you pay for it?
It's probably like realistically, it's like a $500 to $700 item. New age stuff like that. Pricey.
I can get it.
What color should it be?
that's what I was
Wait,
just, I was
actually,
gonna, that's a great segue. I was
like
thinking the same.
silver
I'm just gonna wait till you sell
border,
yours.
but
When I
clear.
get on the thrift store, when you.
So people like
So
at
it
Christmas time.
Has a nice
New Year's.
thing to hold it together, but you
Here
can see
with-
it happen.
Like chrome or
Like-
brushed nipple?
Like brush neck.
You're
Oh,
gonna be really specific on this thing.
brushed nipple.
brush nickels.
trim.
That way, because it'd be modern. Because it's a modern type of
Thinners.
idea. Does it make pickles?
The real question is, does it only make salad, or can you just have it like
Sorry.
printed?
What about
on
meat
your
salad? Does it
A
make meat
piece of
salad?
I
broccoli.
think I'll
Salad
give it
printer.
It's a
forgot.
3D salad printer.
One of the little. Okay. How heavy should it be?
Because she doesn't have a. oh,
probably-
I didn't know you're there. I can't text you.
Say 500 pounds. 500 pounds. Whoa, what?
It's 7,500 pounds.
Oh, I said 75 to 100 pounds.
Oh,
Sorry.
there's a big difference.
I know. It's like 500 pounds. All right, that's a shitload of salad.
I'm okay with it. It's too
I want the whole kitchen worth
Would it
of
increase
salad.
your productivity and happiness?
It'd be salad. It'd be all right. It'd be cool.
I can do whatever I want right now.
Sure, why not?
So,
Yeah, like,
Sarah's
whatever.
off camera, like picking her nose, farting.
Sorry.
Ridiculous.
Is there
Sorry.
is there
Oh.
dog
You don't
pee?
have to. You don't have to. Oh, let me do it, please.
Alright. Great.
I can
Yes.
do it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is it dog? Is it dog
Question number
pee?
one.
Yeah, I peed everywhere.
Stop peeing
How many would
everywhere,
you buy?
man. You gotta hold
He
it.
was so cute.
One.
He was like
I
so
was like,
excited.
So
I
excited.
said
You're
one.
like, you're in.
Alright, on the scale of 1 to 10, what's your rating?
A good 8.
You're so cute. You don't even.
How big should it be?
About the size of a microwave.
And how often would you use it?
Every day.
Yeah, I would. That's gotta change.
How much would you pay?
Good $400, $600.
Brandon's appalling.
I was gonna say like 40.
I know, he's
Yeah,
like.
we got a bunch of results from you. I should say your type of respondent.
They're called
You
I
get
wanna
you
do
get like
everyone
one
in the thrift
leaf.
store.
frugalites. We'll call them frugalites. I'm a frugalite, but I think my,
I just want everything for
my
nothing.
eyes are like, I have $1 billion. And then I go, oh, the way your bank account works is
If
you're
it
gonna
was
have
1,000,
money in
it
there.
would. Well,
That's
yeah,
going in
mine.
reverse, my friend.
It
How
depends
heavy
on how much the
what
resource,
color
like
should
how
it
much are the seeds
I
and the soil.
know, that's what I'm thinking. I was
It's
like,
a
me,
3D
I'm
printer,
like,
the materials end up making it not work.
I'm so bad.
What should it be made out of?
Carbon fiber.
It's gotta be
What's
fast.
the gamer version?
Yep.
Carbon fiber with LEDs.
With LEDs.
How heavy?
85 pounds. I need it to be very
Everybody else is like, I don't know, 85 pounds.
I feel like that. How big did you say it was?
10 stone.
dead.
Microwave.
Oh, it's like a dying star. Sorry.
What was it?
What are you selling again? What is this?
What are we talking about?
I just gave you $600 for what?
Would it increase your productivity and happiness?
I would be so happy. I would be so happy if I had a green salad maker.
And where'd you buy the product? Yes with changes, maybe or not.
Absolutely.
Alright, awesome.
All right, we have one more person, our lovely producer.
Oh,
She said that she would do the questions.
do you want me to paste them?
You don't want to be on camera though?
Please.
I can paste them.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. I can hear me.
All right. Question 1.
Oh.
Drake.
Great.
This is Draco.
How many of the product would you buy?
One.
One.
5.
Ooh.
Shitload of salad.
Okay, got one.
You need
Uh,
two
Feel
cents.
print
It
most
depends
On
on
a
what
scale of
you
1 to 10, how would you rate the product?
Like an 8.
Oh.
How big should it be?
Don't steal my answers.
Like the top half of the fridge, like the freezer section of the
Freezer
fridge.
section of the fridge.
That was a good answer.
He was like, oh. Brandon has a
Or is it that- I like it. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being every day, how often would you use it?
7.
How much would you pay?
$5.52.
After tax.
That's what
I
that
think that's everything in my account.
So that's-
I think she's like, I
How
will
much do we
pay.
have?
No.
And pocket. What color should it be?
Great.
Oh!
That was my answer.
Her favorite color is green.
I just
What should it be made out of?
Mine's red.
Carbon fiber, metal, glass, plastic.
You say
That's my
yours is
second.
yellow?
Because orange is my
Recycled plastic.
red, love yellow, and then blue.
Orange is my
Whatever is possible.
It has to be tangerine orange.
like sunsetting.
Boring.
Should, how heavy should it be?
It's fuck.
Just install this.
I know.
Who's gonna lift this damn thing?
Let's say 50 pounds.
50.
50. Oh, that's a good number.
Alright. Would it increase your productivity and happiness?
Yes.
And would you buy it?
Yes.
Alright. Sweet.
Now we got
Everybody?
your son's homework out of the way.
Awesome.
Yeah, geez.
All right, so
Homework and variety hour.
we usually have an RPG show, but for the last I think it's been about 20 minutes, about 15, 20 minutes, we decided to do a variety show about salads. Why the hell not? So, thanks Total Shrimp 65 for tuning in for our variety show of, we're gonna call it, what is it called? Seed the Salad. Okay, we're gonna move on. But that was cool. Cool.
There's so much to talk here.
So, we're going to move on and we'll talk a little bit more about what, now we moved on. Sarah, what have you been up to? That was his segment.
Well, I don't want to take time to talk about boring
Take
stuff.
time.
You mean like work?
No, just life. You've been busy. You've got cool things going on.
I don't know. I feel like tunnel vision, like I can't remember yesterday. No, I was kidding.
Like, did I
I've
eat
just been
yesterday?
working, like, my kids been going to school, and I've been, we did a big thing on Monday. I don't know, but I don't really. I'm not good at communicating right now. It's gonna be a fun night.
Sarah has shut down.
I've been busy
Good.
with
That's
good stuff.
Yeah.
You are recommending I look at it positively.
I don't recommend anything.
No, that's
I
the way
just,
to
I
do
think
it.
the stuff that other
Hashtag
people do, and I think it's great. Other people's passions excite me.
One fun thing is that we shot Scooter's a video for him a couple weeks ago or a week ago. When was it? A week ago
That
or
was
a week
last
ago?
weekend,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
She made me run around and get sweaty, and
Yeah.
she did. Yeah.
TBD.
Yes.
Jason's response to all the.
Yay! I'm glad because it's like, I mean, I'm glad we can help out. Isn't that why we do all this
Yeah, I
crap?
think he's officially done with that part of it.
See? That's why we do this. Oh, see, gaming can help even kids finish their homework. Whoa.
Yes. Who
So-
was that? That's great. Great.
I'm moving a camera because I bumped it, and I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, nobody.
Okay, so, yeah, she's doing some pretty cool things. I mean, we're all doing some pretty off the wall kind of stuff. Suitor's getting involved in some things. I'm about to sign a contract, well, an agreement to do some work, to do more robotics classes at charter schools.
Cool.
So I'm going to start doing more of those and actually getting paid for them. So that's a kind of a cool gig, those types of things. A couple interviews might be coming up, guys. Creator of what's called Power Outage, B-Bars. He's somebody I've been talking to. He creates some RPGs for kids and adults alike so you can play together.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's a learning experience in the whole thing, so I'm probably using them, going to start using them in the schools too. That's one thing. Plus we might have an interview. I just got to set up the details for Brian Feister, who created this system that we use. So that's pretty awesome. We talked to him 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago. So some pretty cool stuff. Where you got some other Hope stuff and things going on that way. So, but I might do that in a whole nother show. All right, we got to get this intro going, and then we're going to talk about game and maybe play some games because we need to play some games, yo. All right, so here's our little 11-second state-of-the-art, super awesome new Trippers theme and video. Be back in a second. If I click the right button. Holy crap, we're back!
Dude.
All right, let's
In
talk.
that short period of time.
You know, next
In
time-
those 11 seconds, some treats have shown up in the middle of the table. So, I don't know who did those. I think it's the treat fairy. Treat fairy.
I'm pretty sure every single time we do in 11 seconds, something interesting happens.
She waits. She's very. She doesn't. They don't like to be on camera. It's weird. So
Like a
as soon
cookie
as,
ninja.
yeah, believe me, yeah, the ninja has made me gain 30 pounds.
You guys know, you know what we should do? You know, like Family Feud, the show.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
trying to get on that show.
Show me
When they-
Giselle.
No, when they
Show
when
me
they introduce the
Giselle.
families, right? The screen opens and all the families are on like some sort of pose. You should do that after the 11 seconds.
Like a tableau.
So you go to your little intro, we come in and we're like,
We'll have like a
we're all
harpsichord.
some sort of like Renaissance.
We're gonna, I
pose.
was thinking of what was the show? Police Academy. Was that Police? No, what?
Please squat.
Police Squad when they did it on TV.
Yeah, they froze.
At the end of the show, everybody froze, and it was like an actual. It wasn't a freeze frame. That everybody had to
Just
freeze.
stop
And
moving.
the monkey kept moving.
Yep.
Okay,
They were
so-
pouring coffee and just kept-
Should have said that like off camera. It would have been a surprise. But nobody watched this
Nobody's
because we're eating cookies. So, new Tripper stuff. Who's got? Anybody have any questions about rules? Because I have a couple things that we want to talk about real quick. This is a very short part because I'll just divulge what I'm going through here. Griff, we got to make sure that you are definitely up a level. You know that, right?
Yep.
We did that last session.
Yep.
Make sure you're doing all your points accordingly. Dits, you are also up a level. Okay, as of this session. So you are at 12 sessions. Right behind is 1111. So one more and you're a full level up. What up? So look at that way, and of course you can see a lot of things coming to fruition in our storyline. So there might be a couple XP bumps because who knows what the hell you guys are gonna do next. So
I'm gonna liberate all of the enslaved. What are they called? Just kidding. Okay, I'm so sorry.
you may, and who knows. So let's get on that point. Does anybody have any rules questions before we go on to? Everything went to print on this game. By the way, here's an exciting point, and I know this is not off the mark. It's not. It's new Trippers, and it's Open Legend. The system. It went off to print. So the book, actual printed book version of this and Amaria's Dawn is going to the printer right now and being printed. So the actual retail version of this should be coming out probably within the next month. That's what they're talking about. I think October, November is when the printed version will be shipped off to the people who back the Kickstarter, and then we'll be able to buy the actual physical, the smell of a new book.
Yes.
There is something about the smell of a book. It's just the computer equipment
And an
too. I
old
don't know
book.
what. I don't know what it is.
Smells like old
It's
books.
weird. Yeah.
Smells like old butts.
Well,
Is that
if-
what
An
you
old
said?
book. Yeah, like it's been in
I
lots
thought you said old butt.
Been
I
old.
did say old
Oh, okay, good.
She did.
Old butt.
This has been a lot.
Hashtag derailer. I'm just kidding.
I still have your derail queen sign if we need it. It's right
We're
there.
not gonna need it.
I'm not even
I'm
joking,
not
it's
doing
right
that
there.
today. I'm focused.
And I love it. So, just so you know, I'm excited about that. So the rules will be, you can get them in your hot little hands. I printed up a PDF for some of my stuff because I get lost. So, rules questions. Anybody, because you guys are going to be doing XP and leveling. I don't know if you guys used all your feats and those stuff and everything spread across and everything's solid. I know that a few people got some new equipment last week. Well,
You're in the
they had stuff made.
library.
You did know they were getting stuff made.
Yeah.
So they did actually receive those things. So if you have any questions about how those are used or anything like that, that's cool. Even if you want to do it during a battle, you're screwed. So, no, I'm just kidding. So we want to give away some of these little legend thingies. So I think we're going to start doing it at the beginning of our sessions, and instead of the vote thing, I think it's just more fun. So for last session, 2 weeks ago, and we remember what happened at all?
Yep.
I have something important to say. I have found out that 1 cubic meter of dirt is 1,450 kilograms.
But like, how many meters would you need for this?
So how large do you think the wardrobe would be? Do you think it would be 1 meter cubed?
Oh yeah,
All right.
1 by 1 by 1.
Do you think that'd be
That's
enough
3 by
dirt?
3 by. Well,
Or
it's
should I half
around
it?
3 by 3 by 3, right?
That seems big.
3
I
by
think
3
the
by 3. I
technology-
mean, it wouldn't be actually 3 by 3 by 3. It would probably be more like 5 by 2 by maybe 8. Does that make sense? So that's about the same.
So that should be
Tomatoes
enough
need
dirt,
different
because you also need the room for the plants to grow.
Yes. So a
So
wardrobe closet.
that would probably be anywhere from $12 to $18 worth of dirt right there.
So my calculation of it being worth about 50.
For just dirt.
Less than
Yes.
That's just the
200.
dirt.
Yeah.
For just the dirt.
Alright, sorry.
That's great.
Derailed.
Also, I have to think about the weight.
So,
You did.
Oh, you did. That's what the
I have one of these I want to give away, and you guys have one of them you want to give away.
I nominate me for cowardice because I was in the library. Just kidding. I wasn't there. I nominate.
Which session is this for? The last
Last
one?
session.
Okay.
Session 12.
It's for this session, so who should get it? Because what they've done tonight.
Tonight.
I calculated dirt. I
He
should
did calculate dirt, but he also interviewed everyone over salad.
Mm.
Let's do
But I
it.
found the dirt for
I
salad.
nominate Sarah for cookies. The other Sarah.
Yeah,
Sarah number 1.
She's the real winner
She's
here.
gonna
Yeah.
get a peep color.
Focus.
So, by default, that would go to me. So, you want me to have
This would be interesting.
as a bad guy?
Yeah,
I
I
think
want to give
so.
him. I
You want
nominate.
an NPC to have this?
Actually, that'd be
I'm
funny.
I'll
nominating-
nominate myself.
I'm nominating NPC.
One of those should go to
NPC.
NPC. I think that'd be funny.
It'd be fun. Yeah, I want them
I'm
to.
keeping
I
it.
didn't,
Let's
I didn't
mix
know
it
we
up.
So,
did
there's
that.
1,
so.
2. What do you think? Dirt? You voting for dirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm burning for amazing
Burn.
planet.
Vert for
Oh.
dirt.
Are there more? I already had.
I'm gonna go ahead. I think last time. Before I issue mine out, I want to do a recap because I want everybody to kind of get into the core of the game, and that way I can give this out to see what I'm looking for. If that makes sense. So, recap. We spent a lot of time at the Voltaic. Not a lot, but some good
Got
times
a
there.
dope ass gun. You're gonna love my gun.
So got some cool things that the weapons do that are not even weapon-like, except for his a little bit. Yours, kind of cool
I blow stuff up. It's fun.
if you choose to.
I choose to blow it.
So, anybody want to recap?
I can recap. I think notes.
Do it.
Okay. So prior
Yeah,
to
last time I
session,
decided, fuck yeah.
we had just basically killed all these people in this sort of like test to make sure that to rescue what's his name?
Perfect.
So we're all covered in non-corporeal fish guts, leaving the rec center, head to the Voltaic. We're getting lots of looks of like kind of respect / fear.
Bigger gun.
Yep, especially the parents of the youngins, it's kind of more than fear. But we're making a name for ourselves. We get to Voltaic and we go to this really super awesome cleaner chamber. Oh my god, so fun. We get our weapons. So Ditz's pistol, and my dagger, and Griff's rifle. And I took notes on what they all are. I don't know. Since she wasn't there, kind of what I said.
That's okay, I already know.
Okay.
She's,
So we got some-
she's showing you the gun while we.
So I was asking
John.
questions about our little mission, which I was a little confused about things. So we're going to transmission station 0624. Technology that is beyond the people here. It was built hundreds of thousands of years ago. There's this dude, Pedwar, who is apparently even more of a douchebag than Harpo.
Oh wait, Pedler.
He is supposedly looking for this artifact with Tanya. And we are more or less competing with him to get it first. And we really needed Trillian to help us with that since she has some innate understanding or knowledge of this technology. The city is or this station is underwater. We get these little air bubbles around our ship that allow us to get there. We're forming a new band called Jaya and the Pods. And at the very end, we got one of the dudes, one of the grundles that was watching our ship, our boat, came up to us and said that, was it Oscar? Oscar disappeared?
Yeah, Oscar was the one who disappeared.
He disappeared and he basically took a boat, not ours, and he went off on his own to try and do something stupid. So we decided to wait around for Trillian, and that's when we ended.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
The end.
Interesting fact. Interesting that we got tipped up top of the morning. That kind of phrase is not an
Not
Irish
Irish.
phrase.
No, I feel like that's
Nobody
sort
ever
of
said
like.
it.
Somebody made it up.
Yeah.
Somebody made it up because I think there's a Gaelic or Gaelic. Finally got Gaelic phrase that sounds kind of like that, and we just said top of the morning to you because we didn't understand it. You know, America.
It's like calling
So when you said tip
it-
top, I was like,
calling
oh.
it karaoke.
Yeah, I was like, that was a cute little fun fact. Yes, all those things that I'm hearing, that's his point of view.
And then one more major thing happened. I made a rock lobster.
Out of 40.
We-
Oh, that's when I tuned in. I
We
said-
literally ended on almost on like an idea of a asbestos
Yep.
based lobster. Yes.
There's even a link to his character sheet in the chat.
Oh, is that what that was?
Okay, so I am probably gonna make that public, and I will probably retweet that on Twitter tonight. So just because I really enjoyed that, because I envisioned, I used to work in tile work when I was younger, so I can really envision this lobster make out of freaking asbestos. I can see it in my mind. So yes, beautiful. Anybody want any kind of Anybody have any other point of views on their recap? Bits?
Oh, the cool coin. And then we found like a magic portal.
Oh, right, yeah, the cool coin. So my coin, the coin that was palmed to me by one of the guys that I had killed, it's now super tiny now. And we got a hint from, what's that dude's name? He's the grumpy guy.
Rocco. Something like that.
Yeah, that that was something that would help us when we got to the transmission station. So there's like an emblem that shows like mountains with a little portal on it, and I forgot what on the back. But,
Oh, it was like a market. And they were using that coin as currency.
oh right, yeah, they were showing transaction happening.
Yeah.
Or some sort of bar.
Yeah, it was like almost like a. You see a mountain range that's not very familiar, but it does have some sort of strange portal in the middle of the print on one side, and on the flip side of the coin had like a market. Two humanoid creatures having some sort of market transaction, like somebody giving them goods for money, qualifying it as a form, that coin as a form of currency at some time. Not in this moment because everything's on credits, but at some time, somewhere, it was a form of currency.
Oh.
So yes,
Also, I remember that Tanya had told me about it before in like a story or something.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that was it.
but you didn't know of.
Yeah.
It was the mountain range was something that was familiar, but you didn't know where or where, so it's just you vaguely go, oh, that's some story that Tanya told me. That kind of thing. And dits? Finger guns?
Yeah, finger guns. I think I'm definitely just mostly happy about my gun. And I'm just kind of along with the ride.
There's a lot of people mimicking the pew pew.
Everyone's just go like this.
Because she would walk by and everybody's like admiring these guys, and she's like, yeah, pew pew. And their little fins came up trying to do the pew pew.
It's not working for them now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're doing their
missing
best.
some fingers,
They're
yeah.
trying.
Blah, blah.
They are trying. So yes, you guys do find yourself in Magi, basically around the Voltaic if you're kind of trying to head out. As you did notice, you tried to locate where Trillian was, and you did find out that she was close, but not in a physical location. There was a location that was not of this, I don't know, realm or dimension or something like that. It was like close, but not accessible. It's like, you can't get there from here.
Pocket space.
Yeah, kind of those kind of things. And you find yourself still there. Out, you got the new stuff, and you got you got some fans out there pew pewing, and everybody has a data pad at this point. Some are better at using them than others. You know, Craigar is like, okay, what does this do? Type of thing, but it. I can see that. So Craigar is taking his new dagger and sharpening it
5,000 grit
on his data pad,
whetstone.
spitting on it. There's a perfect use for it. Yeah. It did come in the color graphite, so you do guys find something that, and you are in a sense not looking for Trillian, but like hoping that does occur. You know, like something
She turns out.
where she has ended up. And you're still in Magi. And yes, you did get the information that the Grundle that you freed has gone on ahead of you. You got the information that he went onto the transmission station to try and do your job because he felt like he owed you his freedom. So in exchange, he went ahead due north to try and find the transmission station to take care of what you guys were trying to take care of, even though he didn't know what you were doing. He's a grundle, and he really was very thankful. That's the information you got. He wanted to take off and take care of whatever you guys needed to get done, so you didn't have to. And that's where you find yourself, minus Trillian, at this point.
Start
Okay, I immediately hear them.
Trillian.
Bloop.
Are you actually screaming it, or tell me what you're doing?
Well, I was going to go to the library and start looking at it, because that's where she's getting often.
Stuck in the library for like 3 seconds.
She's in card catalogs,
Dude.
like in the card
I've become like the ghost from Ghostbusters.
R.
You've all made them there? You've all made it there? Or are you just going?
Well, I'm going.
I'll go.
I say
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Okay. And you're in the library. Screaming.
No. Just head into the library.
Okay.
To there's a help desk. Say, have you seen somebody that looks like?
Then you got somebody up there kind of just scratching her side, her side of her face. Yeah, she looks, she's like, good day to you too. What are you looking for?
A friend of ours named Trillian. She was wearing stuff and however.
She was one rocks.
Kind of really weird.
She came in with you.
She looked like a bundle of
She's
baling
kinda-
wire.
Have you seen her leave?
No. And honestly, I really don't care.
Can I hear anything?
What you would hear is more of like a muffled. You can hear like conversations going on, kind of like there are 3 houses over that.
Charlie Brown teacher.
Even more faint, but you know it's a conversation. But yes, not a wah 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 wah. It's not like you can't understand it, but it's more of a you could like the vibration of it, and it's a conversation. But
She
you,
or us are underwater.
yeah, very much so.
It's almost like somebody's having a conversation far away from me.
It is, but you're not. But you can sense that it's close.
Do you know where you are?
I don't know. Do I?
What?
Do I know where I am? Yes, I know where I am. I'm reading, right? I'm just-
You are still reading.
I'm immersed.
All
in
you know
knowledge.
is that you are just reading. That's all you know. You're like immersed in reading.
Okay. And I would. I think I would hear people, but not be.
You hear
interested.
it, but you're like you always hear that.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you'll always hear
I
noises
continue
around you.
reading. My character.
Yeah.
Reading.
Where was she? When you guys saw her last?
Sorry.
In the library.
Whoever that was, you know that spot.
I'll just call for her. I'm just gonna yell, Trillian, Oscar left.
And you hear,
Can I hear anything that
the
makes
words? No, because you are reading. You are information download. It's like you are in the midst of a download into your system at this point. Yeah, it's like you're jacked into the matrix at this point. And you know where she was physically. You know where she was.
All right, then to that spot.
And as you guys walk into that spot, you can feel almost like something resonating in the area, kind of a pulsing, like electromagnetic field, especially you. But you can't see her, but you can sense she created you in a sense. You can sense that there's a presence, but she is not there. You've heard of this type of thing. Is there a history or
I could do
yeah, just do an intelligence one.
Can I do a perception?
You can, yeah, you do a perception, you do an intelligence.
Would intelligence be like logic?
I'd say more of learning. I'm learning on this one. specifically.
That's a 5.
27.
And yours is perception. You don't know what the hell is going on, but you know something's weird. Something you've never experienced before. You are going, I think what Tanya did something back, I don't know, that you're like almost grasp like the idea of, nah, that can't be it. And we move on to something else. But you, Kregar, is like, this is voodoo magic. Something's weird. Somebody went through a portal dimension door, or, you know, more of a magical, that's your thought process. You default to that. But she's here, but not here. From your knowledge, that's what you know. Is like, she's here, but not here. Almost like in a different plane of existence. Let's put it in your realm.
Yeah.
More of a plane of existence, or has been ported off through a dimension door or some sort. That's your thought process.
Yeah. So I'll communicate that to the rest.
Tell him.
Yeah, so I feel the short hairs on the back of my neck are going up. I know that she is somewhere nearby, but she's in a different
Something weird.
space. She's in a different realm that you can't see, but she is here now. We just can't see her.
That sets something off in you. So him telling you that, you understand and go, oh, okay, now I get it. Tanya used to do this kind of thing when she was trying to download new information. There's a certain place that people, well, of her type can go that cannot be harmed or it cannot be interfered with while they're literally consuming information of the Empires. They consume information in big amounts and bulk. And when they do that, there's not much they can do otherwise. So there's a pocket of time and space that they go to so that they cannot be harmed or disturbed. And you, with him telling you that information, you're like, ah, Tanya used to do this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell him. So, Tanya used to do this where whenever she wanted to get a lot of information, she kind of just created her own little, like, pocket in time and space and just kind of disappeared for a while.
That's normal.
So,
Okay. So how do we get her out, or how do we let her know that we need her?
Knock around.
can I do, like, aura?
We gotta go.
You know of ways to do it. It will take a little bit of time to kind of draw the attention, but you would know the communication channels. They're electronic. They're electronic, so it's almost like a tune-in. So let's think of something that you would have to do in your feats or something to that effect. Okay?
I'm gonna start looking at my polishing stone / data pad, and just start.
That's what I want.
If I can make any easy sense of it, just start typing messages.
Well, what? And it's already typing messages.
Hey.
As you're
hey.
sharpening, it's like tapping the screen and it's putting in glyphs and it's sending messages. So, do you have a data pad? Okay, you're getting messages in strange glyphs and that don't make any sense, and you're all getting the same messages over and over and over. It's kind of like when somebody would fall asleep on their keyboard and end on the send. And you're getting these, like, you've all received probably 30 or 40 of these already, and they just keep coming through. And it's as he's sharpening his knife and trying to figure out why are there things popping up, you three are receiving those things.
Everyone, let's spam it so that she'll get, like, so many, and she'll just be like, God damn it, who's doing this? She'll come out.
That's a good idea. So I see the messages and I'm not.
You see you've gotten probably, I think by now, about 37 messages.
But I'm not interested in, like, exiting my ball.
It's up to you.
I would like to exit my ball of knowledge.
You've consumed a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
And you're
Full
checking out your data pad, and you see a a bunch of stuff just gibbly gubbly doo of
Would
stuff.
I be like, this is weird? Should I invest?
Well, you would kind of know where it's from,
Okay.
because you would see like the CC would be to them too.
Okay.
So you're like,
So I would say,
it's someone
yeah.
that knows us.
So I would be like, oh yeah, I'm with this group of people. Maybe I should stop reading for
That's
a
all it
minute.
was.
Snap out of it, trill. But I wouldn't snap like that because I don't have fingers.
You'd be
But you
like,
could.
But I could make fingers. Sorry.
You go pew pew. No.
Pew pew.
Alright, so I want to snap out of it.
So you snap out of the knowledge download part. As you guys, I want you three, because you're in the room too, also, right? I would like all of you to do an agility roll.
Okay.
Oh, because I don't want to electrocute you guys. Do I also?
No, because you're
Yeah, I don't need to.
electricity is kind of like air to them.
That's 20, not natural.
15.
I need my dice.
There's a whole bowl of them right there. A whole
Decorative bowl.
bowl. A big bowl.
I knitted these dice myself.
You needed the dice.
I want
not
knitted
the
dice
bag.
now.
That would be
wonder
so
if you
cool.
could
A bag
so
of
they could-
dice and then put
15.
yarn in it.
15.
Man, you guys are gonna get shot.
So,
Happy.
without any issue, you do take a lot of the brunt of the electrical charge that pulses right in front of all three of you as you're kind of like, he's sharpening his knife, she's over there going, yeah, taking out her gun, like, shines kind of cool in the lighting. You're over there like trying to figure out what the hell, how do I channel her? I think Tanya did this. I was like, oh crap, oh, what is all this crap mail that I'm getting? So you're scrolling through there and this slow pulsing ball just starts going in front of you and then pulses out. Pulses out in probably about a 10-foot diameter right in the middle of you three. And okay.
I think it went like Squeaky from Vern and Shirley. Hello.
You two get thrown back. Kragar gets thrown back probably about 5 to 10 feet. So do you. And you do take like this electronical. It's not a burning sensation or electricity. It's a strange. It's almost like parts of you disappear in a sense. And you do take 6 points of damage.
Sorry.
And you take 4.
All because Trillian wouldn't stop reading.
Well, she's re-entering this whole space, this space of existence, and you're standing in that space.
Dumb fleshies. Just
Yeah. So, like I said, your flesh almost like the parts of you almost like disappear. You know, it's not like something cuts you or electrocutes you. It's like it's gone. So you have some of your skin that just is gone, and that's where you take the damage.
And Griff got a Red Bull.
He got wings for some reason. It's more to
Well,
do
my
with this.
skin's gone, then at least I can't feel it.
So, but you were standing there, kind of like the first. Think about the first Terminator when he
Yeah.
appeared. Except you were fully clothed,
Yeah.
and you do
And
have
as
like
ripped
some
is-
books.
Okay.
You could be if you want. You're made of.
I
You
can
can
do
make
whatever
yourself
I want.
look whatever
I could
you want.
look
Just
like
like.
Terminator right now.
But you're standing there, and you do have the books in front of you, and you're standing at your 3 cohorts. 2 of them are missing a little bit of flesh and some of their
Okay, guys.
garb because it just like disappeared in your ball, and that's what happened.
Forever. Sorry, so I stole some of their skin. Forever?
You didn't. The portal did.
Okay.
Wherever you were at.
That looks painful.
You're back.
Hey
Okay.
guys, where you guys been?
Griff's
It's
like,
been
to business.
Like a couple of
Great entrance.
I haven't seen you guys in a couple like minutes or weeks or however long.
Ow!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh wait, I could. No. Yes, I want to heal him with my boon access heal. Can I do that? Can I give
You-
him more
you
skin?
can do
Does it
whatever
feel
you want.
terrible?
You can do
Alright,
whatever you
actually,
want.
Could you heal yourself?
Oh, could I heal myself?
Do you have that?
I have heal.
Can I do
You can
myself too?
absolutely any heal can be used on
Well, then
yourself.
stop your bitch.
You can heal. You can heal.
You're cool. Fuck you. You're cool.
My heals are more like supportive heals, so I'm like,
I
you
never
got
actually-
this, man.
I don't know how to use this because I've never actually used it.
Oh, what are you trying to
The
use?
boom access heal,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a. I think it's just a.
Just a roll. Right?
It's a 1d4 at power level 1.
Well,
1d6
Oh, I need-
at power level 3.
All right. It's a
but you
roll.
gotta get the power level, right?
I'm at power level 1.
Well,
So you go on. It says level. It says power level 1, right?
but you have to roll for the power level 1, if I'm
Oh,
not
you do?
mistaken. So to roll a power level 1, you have to roll your.
This one. It's
Well, it depends on what you use for that boom.
It's
No.
boon axe. It's a feat. Boon axe.
Oh,
is
okay.
one heal.
Then just do it.
All right.
If it's a feat, then you just go for it.
But that
Just
would
roll a
get
d4.
anywhere.
I
Just
thought
a
that just
D4.
let you have
And
it.
not a 20? Not a d20 or it's
Roll up.
You roll. I'm pretty sure you roll d20 for the power level, and then
Well, it depends on what you use as
It is
your.
set in my
But his is a
thing,
feat,
so
not.
you can use
She's
that
using it
as
as a
level
feat, not a
one.
boon.
Yes.
So she has pure access to level 1 as a
Yes.
feat.
So it's automatic, right? 'Cause it's a feat.
Feats,
You don't automatically.
and my internet's not working.
It just means you can try.
I thought it was automatic and that these are like cantrips. I don't need to. I guess it's up to you. Okay, well.
To do it, I mean, but it depends on that boon access, on that boon, what is the capabilities of it? I mean, what is your attributes that you can use?
Yeah, I thought it lets you have a boon that you require that uses an attribute that you don't have.
Yeah, exactly. Which
So-
doesn't specify which attribute. So then I don't know how to.
When it comes to boon, and the boon that you're trying to do is heal.
Oh, actually, I can use creation, which I do have that attribute. I think.
Because heal, you can use creation, learning,
Okay.
logic, or presence.
No, I don't have creation.
Do you have learning, logic, or presence?
I do.
Questions?
I
No.
have learning.
Okay.
1d8.
You have a what?
Learning, you said?
What power?
Score
Yeah.
will be 3.
Okay.
So,
So,
the dice will be 1d8.
yep. So you roll a d20 and a d8,
Alright.
and to get a power level 1, you'd have to roll a 12.
Okay.
That's 10, double the power level.
Eight
Now,
as a total, a 12. Okay, so I just roll these guys.
just roll them.
I did it. 22.
Oh, jeez. Okay. So without any issue. But you get power. All you get is power level 1. What do you have power level of? What do you have? Logic,
No, it's
Learning.
I'm so sorry. Learning.
learning, and what's your power level on learning?
3.
Okay, so you could do it at a power level 3 of heal.
Okay. So,
Which is what it means.
Power level of 3 is a heal is a 1d8.
which is what I just did, and I rolled a 22.
No, D8 for how much?
You get to now you get to roll a d8, and that's how much juice you give him. How many?
6. Yeah.
All better.
Wow, he lost 6, and he got
It
6
worked
back.
out.
Yeah. No.
Sorry.
So
buddy.
it's
How about my shirt?
well, your shirt. She is very creative. So what you have there is, did you have missing a shirt? You have like a patch. You can get a patch. She'll make you a patch. No, I don't know what she'll do.
I am very, no, I'm not creative. I'm good at altering stuff, so I could repurpose your shirt into like a different part of your shirt.
Unless you like it with it off.
No, it's just a sleeve. Oops.
It's like a halter.
And
now.
did you want to do the same thing? You want to heal up?
No.
You're like,
By the time we go do stuff.
by over time, you're gonna get those 4 back.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, nah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
you're hurt too. Dang.
but some of your
Ow!
but some of your a little bit of your clothing and stuff while you're like the side of your sleeve is a little torn and stuff because it just disappeared. It's like
That's
it's gone.
fucked up.
I didn't do it on purpose. Don't interrupt me when I'm reading.
Get out of my room, Mom.
Pies take it very seriously when they're studying. That's what we're finding out. Your knowledge is you take it very seriously. All right, what do you guys want to do? You're sitting in the library. You've just seen Trillian, pop up there. I know Griff had some things to say.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oscar just decided to leave and go try to complete the mission on his own. We should probably follow him.
I meant like, cause
There's,
he's
like-
the one that he knows his name now.
What is presents?
It's under social.
Oh yeah, there's like a very high chance of him dying, so we should probably
Let's
go.
go rescue him, obviously. I'm in. Let's go. Stop wasting time, you guys. What are we doing in the library still?
Shut up.
Let's go.
Maybe I'll go do a portal to blow you up. Yeah.
Where do you guys want to go?
To the ship.
No, I'm alright. It'll be ill by the time we actually do stuff.
To the boat.
I'm racing out of the library.
Top speed. Top speed. Yeah.
Bye, guys. I just opened the door. Start reading another thing and like got it. Sorry.
So yeah, you do know that due north is your transmission station 0624. Oscar has left in that direction.
And he didn't have that fast of a boat, so we could probably catch up.
No, he didn't. But he left quite a bit sooner than you did. You don't even know how long. He could have left yesterday. He could have left day before. He could have left 5 minutes ago. You don't. Yeah.
To the boat.
To the boat.
What do you name a boat?
Oh, I know it.
There's
We
a
changed it to
you've
ass
changed it to-
kickasser.
Yeah, the kick-ass.
Not ass kicker, but kickasser.
Kick-asser,
It
yeah.
used to be-
Ass kicker is just
What was it before?
Sugar daddy. No, that's what Headwar is on. What was it before?
Floating McFloody ducks.
Yeah. It was something like
the first name was Starship.
Starship. Maybe it was like Starship.
Gotta go for that.
This might.
Jet
It's my
ski music.
jam.
That was the music that always came on every time you hopped on this thing. Was this song?
Nobody's allowed to touch my radio.
No.
Like, you know, the channel.
Some of these over there.
Like, they like shocked kids.
So is it the kick-asser now?
Kickasser.
the kick-asser.
Really
Say ass kicker, I won't know what you're talking about.
Kick-ass.
Like, it's gobbledygook.
I like they have the kick-asser. It's not kick-asser, it's the kick-asser.
It's the kick-ass.
It's the kick-assest.
Tasser.
It's the kick-assest kick-asser.
Kick-asser.
But you're to the boat and it's ready for you. Yeah,
I have in the driver's seat because I missed it.
Yeah, you see Buster's up there. He's got it primed and ready. He's ready to go.
Let's roll.
Deuces.
Buster Man. Thanks.
Can we get back to the cannon?
Yeah, put him on the cannon. I put that so early.
Those 3 levels. You got the cannon. You got the automatic. You got the driver's seat, and there's 2 of those sides where you can
Yeah,
hang
I
off.
got
and-
the side thing.
That's the bitch seat.
Then we got
I'm
rock
cussing a lot
lobster on the
today.
other side.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pronounced biatch.
We don't have any giant.
We have an amazing lobster on our boat, too.
Yes,
So,
your lobster's there.
yeah.
Puppy, we're coming to rescue you!
Kind of like in the front of like.
Compensation on rock
It's
lobster.
taken the seat where like the Cadillac emblem would be. In the front.
Perfect.
We can just affix it.
Awesome.
Yes.
It's got his claws open.
So he's like our house.
Fully made out of asbestos tiles.
Oh, yeah,
Fully.
it's an asbestos lobster.
So water does not harm this creature at all.
In fact,
it's
if we
asbestos.
throw it at someone, they'll be fucked up after a while.
Yeah, if they inhale it in like 30 years, they're done.
Yeah, exactly. We're going for the long game here, man.
I got the black lung pops. Hello?
Oh, let's just watch that.
I know, right? Okay.
I like that phone.
I got the black lung pops. All right. You guys are headed out there. Before you get to the transmission station, we have a set of 4 people, including a lobster, with their jet ski smiles. Even the lobster doesn't even know
lobster.
why he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's just up front, got the lobster smile, the lobster jet ski,
Lobster. Doesn't
jet ski
he
smile.
only say lobster too?
Yeah, he
Oh, you
speaks
could.
sloppy.
No, but we can hear him, but he just says
Like,
I remember you said it amazingly last time, and I don't remember what it was.
It's not. It wasn't easy for me to
So
do.
he's a Pokemon?
Yeah.
We'll work on it. You're headed out there, and it's going you're going quite fast. The driver, she knows how to floor it. Okay.
That's my fast.
I remember our amazing turn out of the very first beach. It was perfect.
You guys did donuts
do
for
like
like
to go
20
fast.
minutes.
Someone like almost flew out of the boat. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I'm definitely swerving a lot for fun.
All right, so
Because I
I'd
don't really know
like
the stakes.
agility
like, nobody will
checks.
caught me up or anything. I just know where
Who's
we're
the
going.
top gunner? You're the cannon.
Cannon.
So you be the top gunner. I need agility checks from you two.
Alright.
Sorry, guys.
Don't fuck this up.
You're in the cannon, so it's pretty secure.
I'm all upset.
You're in the middle,
Hold on
but the
tight.
top gunner and the one on the side, looking at her pistol.
That's an 8.
All right.
Wait, I would have said, hold on tight. Because I'm about to go fast.
And that would have fixed everything.
No, wait.
Wait,
It's gotta
does
be
it
a
not work?
bolster.
You need the
Oh.
bolster.
What is this again?
That's for you.
That's for yourself.
Do you have a
Your
bolster?
nutsack.
I'll bolster you.
I'll
Why
bolster
do
you,
say
you
that
bolster
your
me.
things? You're
I
rock.
want to save
Yeah,
him
yeah.
up.
So I hold my
Alright.
naps.
He likes to swim.
I don't even know if he can swim. He's
Yeah.
gonna sink.
He's
Can he, like,
pretty.
rest
He's
over?
really heavy too.
Because
Wait,
maybe
wait,
we
wait.
have
Pull me out of the
advantage
water, guys.
because she's driven before.
What'd you
and
get?
I'm an
sure
expert.
everybody remembers how that went.
19.
She's staring at her gun,
You want both of your.
and he's awing over his Estes lobster.
Here.
So
My lobster is amazing.
Don't die.
It's the intelligence one, too.
It's filled with stuff. It's
My
not-
lobster is the
Ooh,
aspect.
sells the trash. Such glory days.
Alright. That's better. That's a 10.
God damn it. He's really
All
heavy.
right.
and
Alright,
slippery.
well, should we go back
so
and get
you're
him?
not having much initiative.
I'm having
Yeah.
to, but
Yeah, what'd you roll?
19.
19. You're like, look at your gun. You're like, yeah. You're just shooting off into the side. Just like, yeah. It's like a big sparks coming across. Like, yeah,
Yeah, no.
they know we're coming. Ditches over this boat, bitches. Just shooting across. He's
Pretty
like, well,
accurate.
that's pretty cool, but what the? And he's rolling off to the side. You've fallen off of your chair there. Your foot is lodged in one of the
Oh, good.
seats underneath, but you are literally like hanging off to the side, and she's on the same side. So as you swing back, she's going like right in front of her. Clink, clink, clink.
he can't drown or anything.
So that's what's
Probably.
going on right there. Full speed ahead, swerves around, shooting up in the
Do you
air.
have to
I
look
pull out
over
my
and
rifle and
see
start
this shit?
shooting with
Do
it.
I see it? Do I notice or am I too?
Oh, you're doing donuts. You have no
Okay.
idea. You're like donuts, suckers. And you are.
Let me go the other
You're
way.
like. You're taking it seriously. I've got a cannon.
I'm
We
looking
look
for
behind
things
us
to
and the
shoot.
doctor.
Yeah, you're looking dead ahead. You're looking for some sort of island, something, and every once in a while you see like a fish jump. So this is our saviors of the world, of the planet Bart.
And we're just right up, and the dock is like
Yes.
10 feet behind us.
Sorry.
Just doing circles in front of the dog.
Planet Bard
There's two
is to
grundles
be
standing there
saved
like-
by you. By this.
Good luck,
these-
Bart. Okay, I'm gonna. Do I notice?
Do the guys from the docks just look at us?
You can't tell.
Okay,
Buster
I'm gonna
don't
try
care.
to lock
You're
it up.
looking at your gun.
Buster
And
don't
enjoy-
care. He's back to his work. Nobody cares.
Okay.
There's a lot of sea creatures, like the sorry that still live in the water. They have parted, and you can see,
Like,
the ones that
fuck
were
this.
jumping in front of you before that you were like, boom. Now you've seen like droves of them just go.
Nope.
Nope, they are done. So
Okay.
you've got a spark going off to the side. You've got a pulse rifle shooting off to the right because you're like, tick, 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 tick. And you got a cannon every like 3 to 5 seconds
Frickin' Duke that.
firing off into something.
Oh yeah.
And we're still every once in a while, probably about every 100 yards or so. You got another donut. She's like, oh yeah. and pulls around a
Do
donut.
I eventually like? I'm gonna just calm down and be like, I missed you, kick asser, and then I put it into normal gear. I look around, make sure everybody's okay, and then
Nobody's okay. Everyone better be dead right now.
Nobody. Everybody's pretty much okay.
Nobody on this.
You're a
ship
little
is
on
okay.
Kragar's a little on edge because he hasn't hit anything yet. Because every time he goes to shoot it, she does a donut. So he's a little pissed off.
I'm always on it.
Your metal is a little bent up in the back of the head from swinging back, and she's hit you a few times with her just a little singes, nothing to cause you any harm.
She's not right in the head.
Anything to that effect. You're a little singed up because his rifle's been going off. No damage, but yes, you're wearing that across your chest. Every once in a while you're doing this and it comes back. Might take off an eyelash or an eyebrow because of his new rifle that he has that he's trying to test out while he's flopping in the wind.
eyelash or eyebrow is pretty good precision, you guys. It's a little super fine.
But it's like I don't know what he had it set. What did you have it set to?
Stunt.
Set the stun.
Okay, so it was only set to stun. So at this point you can't move your right eye. It's not blind, but you just can't move it.
That's kind of good.
And that's
So
I mean
she's
it's not
kind of like lazy. I think.
yeah, you're gonna have just for a couple more minutes. You're like the eye is like what the hell? You can see in two different directions. You can see dead ahead of you and move your left eye for the next bit
No
of time.
problem.
Might be able to use that to your advantage.
Alright, guys, stop messing around. Let's
Let's
get going.
She says that.
What are you guys doing over there? This is amateur
Now,
hour.
Oh, yeah, by the
buckle
way,
up
hang on.
real fast. And then, so I'm gonna, instead of
Real fast, and now
real
we're
fast.
pulling up into your life again.
Yeah, hold on. We're gonna go fast.
Beeline. Okay, so you are heading due north.
Throws me off.
Come over here.
And as you're headed due north, you have a pulse. You have a pulse inside of your. Where would you have put the device that you got from that underground part? Because that's where the pulse is coming from. That device that they handed you.
I mean, it would be in a
A
pocket.
satchel or
A pocket
something.
in
Yeah.
a cloak.
Okay. So inside of your cloak, you are feeling. I'll take that out. I just love that song for that. I don't know why. Okay. You will feel that pulse inside of your cloak. It's yeah. It's almost like it has a cowbell sound to it. It just happened. So it's like a metronome.
Gotta fever.
Like metronome cowbell sound is going off inside of your cloak.
Alright. No, it doesn't look like I need to kill him and he just gets one.
As you pull it out, it resonates and activates your data pad. So it gives you a location on your data pad, which coincides with the transmission station that you're going to. And it gives you, there's a picture that pops up. It gives you a race of an Asari, and then it says / question mark, a cross race of some sort. And underneath you can basically, in the understandings of the knowledge that you had, is to bring him a fin. Terminate.
Okay. Is it Pedwar?
Well, you don't know.
Okay.
You've never seen, no, you don't know of who Pedwar is. But you do get you actually get a picture. And it looks Asari, but not 100%. Like a crossbreed of something. But it does say Asari / like a question mark or unknown. But it does say, bring me a fin, assassinate.
Okay.
And it's giving you the same location as transmission station at where you're headed. And you guys don't know anything. I mean, that's what he gets.
Alright, I'll just put it back in my bottle.
Okay.
Tender leg?
I'm laughing.
Did you swipe left or right? So, that's what you see in there. You guys are all pulling up really fast as you're approaching. You can tell, you can see some bubbling. You know that you're getting to the close area. It's not a lot of bubbling, but you can tell that there's some motion of there is something under the water right there. So you have arrived to your destination, the transmission station 0624. You know that it's right in front of you, probably about 100 yards in front of you. Because you can see it's almost like a spouting water fountain coming out. Like you can see it cycling so they can stay surviving.
My character would want to do donuts right here, but I will refrain from doing so because I saw it in the back of his head so bad.
You're gonna have to do a check if you
Oh.
really want to do those, but you don't. You're trying to refrain. I don't know if you.
I am super caring.
I don't know if you.
I'm
can,
ready to roll my
Can you
dice.
really, like? Would that be a fortitude? What would that be for her to fight that off?
Agility.
No, to
Will.
fight off.
Alteration.
To fight off the
Altering
urge.
your
Will.
It would be will.
Let's do a will.
Resist
Yes, you
torture.
need the will.
Resist
The will
torture.
to stop.
Alright. Nope.
You only have a D20. You don't have. Okay. So you have a what?
A 10. Oh, but
A
I
10.
could.
You could. You can do whatever you want.
Should we wait to win this, or do you guys want to go swimming? Sorry. I just should have not
How
said
close
anything.
am I to?
Funny.
Is like
We're
if it's-
about. I mean, we're still now that we hit 100 yards. So you're still going full speed. So by the time she's like, "Oh, I really want to," so you're probably 50 yards.
So if
You're
she
getting
were
close.
to fling me off the boat, and I could
Maybe
just
you go right where
swan
it is.
dive right in, could I do that?
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Well, I'm gonna do this.
It's up to you if you want to resist it or you want to do the donut.
My donut
You
tendencies.
rolled one.
No, I rolled a 9 that time.
Ooh, nice.
She can't fight the urge. I mean,
I'm so sorry. I used
Alright, I'll try to.
she caught the fever of the cowbell. She heard it. She heard it and she caught the
Is
fever.
it without warning? She just starts going.
Oh yeah, we're almost there. And she's like, okay, we're gonna get there. And she's like, hold on, look at the fountain, and spins it. Okay, she couldn't fight off the urge.
I could just go through the rest of these, but now I guess it happens.
So I like an agility.
That's a 13.
13?
So if I didn't pass, I'm gonna try to swan dive right into that fountain.
I also got 13. I
Okay.
really don't wanna. Is this one? This
We
one's
have
for,
to. You're going down anyways. So
This
it's up to
one's
you.
for my D8 or my D20.
For what?
If I use this, can I use all my D20?
It's an advantage. So what is the two? Do you have 2 dice? Or is it just 1
I
dice?
have 2 dice.
What is it?
My D8.
Okay, so you re-roll the d8. That's advantage.
Yeah.
You currently have. Who had the actual device that put the bubble around the machine? Remember? Okay, so just remember the device that went and it filled you with a pocket of air that you could go underwater? Who has that?
Follows where
Griff had it.
Okay, if you have that, remember that you have that.
Alright.
And remember what's going on all around you, and then go from there. I just want to remind you. However you want to use it, go for it.
Yeah.
We'll just decide that you had it.
Before I get thrown off the
I
boat,
think-
I'm gonna try to put
I
it
think it's
down.
great. Well, how is this not funny?
It's hilarious.
I was
It's
like,
funny. I mean,
I was like,
it's
how is this not funny? We're almost there. No, we're not. No, but, you have that device. You're
just
at a 13. You had a 13. You're pretty locked in place. Just, I'd like you also do a will check.
Okay.
Shoot me.
He's gonna be so mad.
Yeah, because I was like, he's on the borderline of being pissed. So I want to see if he can pass a will check here. You may be pissed.
Oh
Oh
shit!
my god.
I'm gonna beat up.
4.
Okay, you are fucking pissed.
Oh yes.
Okay, so you've been trying to shoot fish on the way.
By the way, my character flaw? socially awkward and vengeful.
Oh.
Okay, so here's where you're at. Here, just think of it character-wise. At this point, somebody, this crew that you're with, and not her specifically, but this crew, you couldn't shoot anything all the way here with this big-ass awesome cannon that you've never been able to use before. 1. 2, you have a job to do now that could make you more respectful in like the assassins clan that they have back in the Magi. And they're fucking around. Okay?
We're about to get
You're about to get to the
She's
destination.
fucking around.
Well, you don't know that though. All you know is this thing spun off. Do you know that?
I'm
Who else is
driving.
driving?
These jackasses have been shooting their guns off in the side. So I mean, honestly, as a knowledge base, it's like they're all part of this like ruse to just piss you off. They are getting in your way.
Am I in a freaking frat here? What's going
Yeah,
on?
seriously, you're having.
It's
Yeah,
my nature.
that's what's going on right now. People are playing grabby ass and towel snapping
Grabby
while
ass.
you're like trying to find your mark and trying to find your way in this culture. That's what's occurring.
So who is he gonna shoot at? 'Cause he's
That's
mad.
I don't know. That's your state of mind. Okay, I'm not gonna put you as a disadvantage unless there's a roll or something like that. But that's where you're at right now. Yeah. You're trying to do a swan dive.
Can I drop the device first so that the boat will still
Yes,
get bubbled?
absolutely.
Alright. I'm gonna just drop it down to Kragar and be like, that's the bubble machine, don't lose it, and then swan dive off. Swan dive.
So he's in the midst of
So you look to your right and you're like, what the fuck?
he's in the midst of this. Swan dive, you're in the midst of being pissed and you know what the device is. She's down there is like, fucking I gotta do this. She's swerving, right? Over here she's like, I just don't want to get shot and don't fall off this stupid thing.
Can I,
So you're thinking about diving off of the boat completely. So you're making this challenge of like, well, should I just bail now?
can I
What do
use
you
a-
guys want to do?
I want to use a reaction or something to cast teleport on him.
Oh, cool.
Back to the boat.
He's the one that was back in the same
No, you
position.
Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
I'm gonna swan dive back into like a pole.
It's like- I wanna
I'm
see
just
what
like,
happens.
sorry.
You messed this up, I'm just gonna teleport even higher and get an amazing, even more cool swan dive.
Yeah, what?
He like teleports like, no.
Teleport 30 feet up. Wow!
You did like a backflip.
Like a fool.
15.
15. And you're trying. What is your goal?
To teleport him just back to where he was.
Back
You
into a seat.
resist that shit. I want a swan
So,
dive bad.
with the weight and the distance and the speed that we're going at, he does take off into a swan dive, and you grab the ball that's coming down here. You're about to put the thing out, and you're like, oh. So you channel a teleport for him to come back. As he's swan diving, he does disappear. And next thing you know, you are literally on top of his cannon that's sitting out, swan diving and landing onto the cannon.
Nice.
So do an agility to try and grab onto the cannon. He's right in front of you now because you couldn't totally get him back with his weight and his speed, but at 15, he couldn't make it all the way back to his seat, but you got him part of the way back to the boat.
Can I roll, since I rolled a 20 on the agility, can I roll to dodge the cannon and just go straight into the water?
If you miss the cannon, because right now you're swan diving down towards the cannon.
Okay.
So there's no way to get leverage to go anywhere else but to the cannon. You could miss the cannon, but you would end up probably sitting right next to her.
I'm gonna land.
So the cannon's like, she's driving and the cannon's like over her.
Alright.
You're hitting the cannon.
Yeah.
It's either grab or don't grab.
I rolled a 20, so I'm just gonna grab
You
it.
can grab onto the cannon with not even a problem. You're like, you went to dive, you disappear, you see the cannon, you grab it, and you're sitting underneath the cannon holding on at this point. You
Like
see the
monkey
whole
bars?
thing. You see all of this occurring
I'm
right in
just
front of you. Yeah, because you're on the side of the boat. You're still got your pistol out. Griff disappears, tries to do a jump. You see a donut happen. You have not fallen off, though, yet. You've shot the water quite a few times, but you haven't fallen off. So you currently have that ball.
Yeah, I'm just yelling.
My plan was to do a donut into a park. Like it was like a cool donut into a park, like with panache.
Make an agility.
Okay. Oh,
Because
okay.
they didn't know. They didn't know that any of this.
Oh, I know. I know that. I don't have to. All right, here we go.
I know I didn't tell anybody.
No, I got a 12.
Okay. So, you know how you do that swirl, that Fast and Furious park or whatever you want? You spin around and you park parallel-wise? So, this one, she was coming in a little high. Alright? So, she does a full 180 and almost like, like a 270. And the ass end of the boat now is in that waterfall. And you were aiming dead south as the back end of your jet ski, your kicasser, is in behind, getting fluttered from behind. That's what's happening right now.
I died.
Well, hold on. Hold on there.
He really wants to swan dive.
Luke Games.
Don't-
I know. He's like, it's like, I got my Speedos on. I'm getting in. Hold on.
can
What's
just
Dit's
imagine-
doing? I want to know what Dit's doing.
Yeah.
Because Dit's been seeing all this go on and a gun, and I want to know what the hell Dit's is doing
Put my
right now.
gun away. Man, you guys are fucking around too much.
She's not wrong. Well, no.
Gregor, what do you say to that?
Well, I mean, I yelled.
So there's a connection right now. Dit's and you two are kind of like, that's not what I signed on for. But you do know, all four of you do know for sure that dead below you is your transmission station 0624.
Come on, you guys. Stop this. Let's go.
Oh my god.
I get my rock lobster and I put it on my shoulder, and then I go jump straight in. Just go straight
What
down.
about
Maybe
the bubble?
we should figure out what we're doing
Let's go in the bubble
and where we're going.
Like in sphere.
It's right
Not
below us.
sphere.
That's all we need.
It's
The abyss. I don't
a
know.
giant station.
Talk to each other.
Talk to me.
So how does the bubble work? Do we
Push
take
the
the
button.
ship? Do we take the ship down, or do we just all hang on to it? And
Let's-
I'm pretty sure it bubbles around the ship, so we just kind of.
can we
Let's take the
not be
capsule.
pretty sure, but actually 100% sure before we go diving off?
I want to do a learning. I want to do a learning because I've done a lot of research in my time.
Fleshies, man.
I want to see if I can
Figure
just
it
push a
out.
button and it'll protectively. Can I figure out the bubble?
He has the actual device. It's in his hand. He tossed it down to him while he tried to do a swan.
Okay.
If you're not too busy.
I want to just learn about it
Making
or
the
see if I
donuts.
know. I'm not busy.
They just made it and they said it was a
16?
beta.
16 for learning.
It's pretty easy to understand the concept of the. It's not even a metallic ball. It's almost like if you took a small bouncy ball, but it's empty inside. And the activation is pretty simple. You can see inside of it. You kind of slide to one side, push through, and it just literally expands around you.
Okay.
So that small ball all of a sudden becomes a big one. And it surrounds whatever's inside of it. You can pretty much understand that. The drawback on it, okay.
Yeah,
You know the drawback on it is like whatever's air is in there, that's what you get. It's not like it regenerates air inside there, so
Would there be air inside of the station, or is it like?
we don't know. You guys don't know. You guys, all you got was a map.
I don't need air.
Do
So.
we have any walkie-talkies?
That's what
Like-
we found that out last time.
But you did know that it was not a water-filled station. You did find out last time that it was an actual like.
It's a submerged thing. It's
It's
not
a
just-
station that's it's not full of water.
They're housing
It's like Gunga City.
multiple.
Yeah.
I push that.
And you can hear it. It has that. It's gonna make the sound of like a ball. Okay. So as you push it, boom. And all around you, even underneath your boat, Your Kikasser is still levitated, but it's even levitated a little bit more because that ball is now floating on the water and ready for you to do something.
Well, we've only got so much air. Let's go down.
I can do all the loops at wow. You can just like bounce around. Just kidding.
Take a quick break.
A real quick.
You can. So you're gonna go down? You're gonna go down in the boat?
Do you guys want to go down?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it.
Let's go.
We have to
Okay.
limit it. Hopefully we don't die.
So as you go down, you will be going down straight down, and you will see the station just like you see the outside port of everything that's been built. You'll see it there, but you do see a lot has happened. You do see that one of the doors has been blasted open. One of the front doors has been blasted open. You do see a lot of what would be like laser rifle marks and slashing through that front door. And you do see 2 or 3 dead Asari kind of floating around that area. And then we'll take a break. Okay?
Was that? I think it's Oscar. I think it's
Bad guy.
So, and we'll be back in a little bit because it is already 8:30. All right, we'll be back in a bit. Delayed applause. Woo! All right. So, welcome back. We're going to play for a little while here and make sure this happens. Shout out to our sponsors. That's probably pretty loud. Of course, Arknight. Check them out. They've got some new products out there. They've got a cool video. We put it on our Time to Tabletop Facebook, and we put it on our D&D and my D&D and RPGs Facebook also. Got to check that out. Ambient Realms, where we're getting some of these sweet. Rick was right. That's an actual Ambient Realm sound, and I pushed the button. It was good. All right, that was, got to check it out. They're doing some cool stuff, but make sure and check out. They're really big advocates of Autism Speaks and Huntington's Disease Society of America. Great things to support. A lot of things coming up, but we want to get back into what the hell is going on at Transmission Station 0624.
Swan dives.
Swan dives and what do we want to like?
Shenanigans.
Kick ass-agans.
Next person question.
So, wow. Tried to stop it at the perfect time, but you know how I go. Let's do this. Nope. Yeah, that works. The strange part, though, as you're going down in there, it looks like basically a normal just an industrial station that's supposed to just broadcast. It's kind of like looking up to an antenna. If you drove by like a cellular antenna, that's basically the construct of what it was. But you do notice a lot of stuff going on. That's pretty fresh.
pH fresh.
Yes. pH fat, pH fresh.
Sorry.
But you do see a lot of like laser rifle marks in the front. The front door is actually, lodged open. You do see some Asari bodies, the incorporeal ones kind of floating around and kind of dissipating, like 3 of them in the area, missing parts and definitely dead. As you are diving down in your voltaic bubble. What would you like to do?
I quit my laser rifle.
Make our way.
Can we?
How we can steer the thing? I mean, can we get to that door?
Oh yeah.
You can get us to the door. I mean, I'm really good at this shit. I mean, it's this thing, device.
And me as a travel guide, I cringe. Like, oh.
So can we get to the door?
Yeah, without any much issue, it's pretty easy to get
Like
to
that
get to the
Galaxy
location of the door.
Or is it all? Is that still all underwater? Or is
That's
it
all
like,
we are. We're just
It's underwater,
galaxy
and there's
quest.
water inside that door has opened. But as you approach it, you can see it's like an airlock. So you would see that door open, and it's full in water. But there's another door behind it, because that's where you would enter, lock up, dry out, and then be able to walk in. That make sense?
Yes,
So it's a 2-door system, so you can actually.
but it's blasted open.
The first one is, yes.
The second one's closed.
Second one's closed. It's still got you
Which
to
way was it blasted? In or out?
out.
Like it came from the inside.
You can't really tell whether it's been blasted from the inside or from the outside, but you know that it was forced open. You could do some sort of investigation if you wanted to figure out how it got open.
Or if we can tell, like,
Whoever's
who
curious.
might have been.
I'm curious.
I don't know if you can tell who, but you could tell
based on the
how.
equipment.
Should I just roll
Yeah, what kind of
perception for
equipment
that?
or how it was done. Yeah. What's that?
Just like perception for that?
Yeah, perception is perfectly fine.
So can I roll for you? Or?
I rolled a
You were the two that were really curious of
16.
16. What about you, Craig?
Less.
I was also curious.
It's way less.
I also got less.
Okay. You do know that you can't tell if it's been opened from the inside or outside, but you do know that it was forced open not by a blast, but force field like a blunt object, like a pry or something either was trying to escape or something trying to get in.
Okay.
I mean,
So
if
it
it's-
wasn't
if
a
it's
somebody didn't blast it open.
If it's an airlock, then they live in the middle of the make port with that door.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense if it was to get out.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm just trying to think about how we're gonna get inside with like the warrants.
Is there another door?
Go around. It's a large facility. I'd say probably not super large, but let's say
Do you want me to go fast? Around?
How about you stay here?
I'd say about 150 meters wide and almost cubic. As you were diving down there, it's about 150 meters. It's not huge, but you guys do have a blueprint of it. You've all been sent on your,
Oh right.
so you do know what the structure looks like.
We'll look for another nearby door. Or,
And you do notice, let me pull up my map, because it will help me explain it to you. Yeah, just go into your Discord, and I should have sent it to all of you there.
I got it.
You do see your main door. If you look, basically on the bottom. I don't know if it's on the bottom right of your map, but you know where there's a blacked out section.
Yep.
That's where those doors are situated.
Okay.
Kind of comes in 3 sections. Now, if you do find a way around, you do find where a ship docking station also is on the opposite corner, behind a couple of gunners. You know, a couple of guns.
Are those mounted?
Yeah, they're definitely mounted, and it's almost like a clear bubble
Okay.
with 2 like laser rifles sticking out of it. Those are the ones. That's what you see when you talk about those gunners. But if you're on the opposite side, there's a landing port that definitely a ship needs to get inside. Kind of an airlock for that too.
Alright.
Is that just the one on the complete opposite side?
Yep. Because I don't know how your map is situated, but on the bottom right is kind of the airlock where you saw.
Yeah. On
And
the
the
bottom
top
right for me,
left.
I'm pretty sure it's the same. It's just the one that you sent to.
Yeah, through the Discord. But every time that I printed it, it went sideways. So that's why I was making sure that you're seeing the same thing. This is what I am seeing.
Yep. I have
Okay.
the same thing.
I just want to make sure.
I don't think I got that because I was in here.
You only sent it to the musical rights owner.
Okay, that's because you were the only two that had data pads at the time. You had, it's not even a problem for you to send that to them.
Yep.
So just send it over to them.
Reaching that.
As long as it's in the same. Yeah, it's like when I printed it, it went like this. I was like, that's not the same map. This sucks. And I put it in my book and I was like, hold on.
Bullshit, man.
I just have to turn it. It's fine. I felt stupid. But I printed it like 3 times thinking it was wrong.
Where are we?
You are, if you send it to you, you're on the bottom right. That's that lock that's been blasted open, and that gunner, that gun there has been destroyed. So this whole section there, on the bottom right, and then you see in the middle there, that was basically like a viewing window.
Yeah.
But on the opposite corner, let's say north, south, east, west, or whatever, you'd be on the northwest corner. You see the gunner up there. If you guys are doing a loop around it, you'll see that there's the same kind of a port that a ship can go inside of that is not damaged. So that would be something through an investigation that you guys have figured out. Well, that's where a ship goes in. Maybe we can get in that way.
What's it?
I carefully and cautiously.
Sneaky beaky stuff.
Floor it. Carefully and
No, I've
cautiously
learned my
floor it.
lesson. I'm a learning.
But you can't. There's a fun part.
Yeah, I can't
The
have an
hard
inherent
way.
curiosity and zest for life. Then we have a.
You find it. I mean, if you're going out there
Invest in their shoes.
very nicely. It's pretty easy to find, but it is a lock. It does take a certain kind of sensory code to open up those doors as a ship to get in. It's not just going to go, hey, look, there's a ship, and just open up.
So we need somebody to hack it or something.
Blast it, hack it, sneak in, pry
I think
in,
sneaky hack.
whatever you want.
Are you at last?
So I'm gonna try taking out that corner and see what's fun. Or is it like some sort of like pad or anything that?
Or is it just like a sensor at the top of the door?
It's not even you won't see the sensor inside on the door or anything to that effect. There's no way to put a hand or anything like that effect. But you would know that it's definitely something that would be inside of a ship. That when you pull up to the side of it, the door would open. The coin would have no sort of effect on it. It's a ship-based. This ship has clearance. The door will open.
Looks like it's time to hack it.
Yeah, it's that type of thing. Yeah.
It's all
And you know how Bluetooth works flawlessly, right?
It's 22.
22. So what are you trying to give me some details of how you're doing it?
So
Hacking.
yeah,
Right? Beep, 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 beep.
I can
Access
hack you back in
granted.
time.
I love crime dramas when they find a hacker and they can do anything by pressing a bunch of buttons.
Enlarge and enhance.
Mm-hmm. Why does everything make a noise? Zoom never has made a noise.
Let's type and make it.
So what do you want to do? What are you physically trying to do?
Yeah.
What is Griff?
so I'm basically scanning there, and I'm seeing what codes that it would let in, like all the different chips, and I'm just gonna take one of those codes and just put it on my pad, and so it recognizes it and lets us in. Basically the same thing as stealing an admin account. Let you do everything.
Let's find some sort of role for you. If for some reason my internet's acting silly even though we're broadcasting brilliantly.
Would it be prescience?
That is something that would definitely be up that alley. but that's more. I'd say more like maybe an alteration,
Alright, sounds good.
or alteration or energy. would
Oh,
be-
energy sounds awesome.
You know, I feel like that would be more of. Tell me if anybody else thinks differently.
Seems good.
The prescience, I think, is more of a.
The question says, see the future, read minds, or
Yeah.
detect magic, or use the scribe.
Yeah, that's why prescience doesn't make any sense to me.
Hmm.
But alteration or
Energy.
energy, because it is, you know that it's an action
You have a 5.
in energy. Yeah, do an energy then, because that's what you want to go.
Alright, that's 2 explosions.
Is that D4 again?
No. 2
Jesus.
D6s.
Jesus.
5 plus 11 plus.
You're gonna have to build a
18
character,
plus
kiddo.
7.
You're ready to play.
25.
25?
25.
So with a little bit of work and everything, you're working closely with her because she knows how to drive your ship, the Cacassar, very, very well.
My ship.
She claimed the ship.
I own the ship.
It's her ship now?
She put a Trillian
Understood.
flag on the front, next to your
Sorry.
asbestos lobster. But you've worked very closely with her to understand the ship's makeup and how everything's wired inside, to find a way to organically rewire it so it can send off some type of pulse that might work for this door.
Alright.
Takes you a little while, and I'm actually like sitting here trying to find a cool sound effect. I don't know if I have it, but I'm gonna try one. See what this does.
It works.
That was actually pretty good. Thanks, Andy Mounts. So you feel that door. It's almost like a layered door, kind of like, you know, those bread boxes that just pulls up.
It rolls out.
Yeah, it rolls up, and you see an exposed ship inside of there that's sitting in there.
Is
Yeah,
it
it's very
Oscars?
exposed. What's that?
Is that Oscars?
You don't know. You do not know.
We
All I know is that was a smaller boat.
It's a large ship. It's much larger than yours. It's not Oscars. You would know that.
My ship.
But it is exposed, and you can go through. It has like a clear. There's a clear barrier between you and that ship, and you can see that there's air inside of there. And between that clear barrier, you're in the water. There's a clear barrier where there's air, where it's sitting there, and it is dull.
Is there enough room for our boat to fit? Also?
Absolutely. This is a very large, like,
Okay.
it transports not just people, but yeah. Well, it could. It could transport your ship for sure, but it's for transporting. You can tell it's kind of like a cargo for repair items and crew members and those types of things. You can tell that it's been docked there for a while. It's
Okay.
not used very often. If at all.
Let's park this boat and then explore.
I delicately park
Where do you park?
And just
in the darkest, most sneaky corner.
Yes, definitely the dark, sneaky corner.
Yes, one that seems.
incognito boat.
No, it's a Cacassar. Cacassar. Is this outside of the bubble? Or like where they're... Is this outside of where the ship is docked?
Well, I'm gonna ask where you guys think it should go. Okay. Is it outside of the
In the driveway or
garage?
The
It needs to be in the garage, right?
can't be in the garage.
Oh.
The garage has a vehicle. Right.
Oh,
But you have, there's plenty of room for your vehicle. This, like, it's kind of like parking I'm trying to think of the name of it, but you remember the cruisers on Star Wars that went through the forest? What was
Yes.
it called?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here's my
It's
question.
like parking one of those next to the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
There's plenty of room to park yours in.
So is there like a big piece of sheet metal or something you can put over, like hide it, or like some,
You could become a piece of sheet
pine
metal if you
needle,
wanted
like
to.
Why don't you do that? And
But really, I was like,
I
that's
like break a little extra harder so you bump your head on the wheel. Just kidding.
yeah. I mean, you
That was
opened it
really
with
bad.
you opened it, and he knows. He just has to explain to you that he hacked it, so it's not like a abnormal situation. Like nobody's
alert has
looking.
been-
There's nobody there.
no alarm.
So
No alarms.
yeah.
Nothing going on. All
I
you
think
heard was
inside the
ching-ching-ching.
garage, just park it faced outward for a quicker getaway
Sounds good.
in a pocket near the exit.
Okay, that makes sense.
Legit.
There's a shadowy area I saw.
yeah.
It's right there.
Shut the door.
So the shadow area, let's put it this way, on the map there, if you look right above the left center gun, would be basically right there. Right next to a gun is probably your safest spot, if that makes sense. So the gun is kind of has a clear bubble and shooting out this way. We are kind of right here to get inside. And what do you guys want to do? Want to swim over there, or
Are we still in water?
you guys are in the bubble? But to get from your bubble into there, right?
I can float.
It's basically, and you guys have to realize that clear layer is kind of like a bubble. You've opened up the gate to go ahead and go inside of there. It's kind of like an airlock in itself. That clear field. If you go through it, you'll be through air. You'll be in air.
So, are the turrets are manned? Well,
You don't know.
alright.
You don't know.
I want to sabotage them so bad so that when we run out of here with people,
Potato in the turret is the
Nobody
oldest
falls
chick
from
in the
banana in the tailpipe.
And sand at them. We'll never know what hit them. Was that dirt?
no.
No, it wasn't.
It was
Oh, he cued music, you guys.
Well, the water thing
Things
was
are
just too
dire.
much.
I'm gonna float over the water over to the. Wait, are we all in bubble still?
I'm just gonna walk.
On water.
No, just on the ground.
We could turn back then. So, head over to. I mean, without an issue, if anybody can swim, you're the one that's going to have the most issue is you.
Yay.
I mean, realistically, swimming.
Don't you have like?
Not your thing.
Don't you have like rocket propellers on your feet or something?
Then you
I'm
don't
not
know water,
Iron
right?
Man,
You're
man.
you're calm.
Iron Griff. No, everybody else. I mean, you're height, weight, proportionate.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just can do whatever and kind of make whatever go. But
Can I
You're
see
not.
where I want to go?
Can I try to teleport?
absolutely,
Can you
There- I
turn
mean,
into a
this
boat
place is
for him?
lit
I
up.
don't think you can hold that
Oh yeah,
much.
let's teleport. He
Can I
wants to
teleport
teleport.
myself in?
Because I'm
So
Do you have
that
a
I don't-
teleport?
Yeah, I do.
Then go for it. You guys can swim without. There's not much
Natural 20.
issue,
Nice.
but I would like you
That
to
is-
Are you
do.
teleporting too?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna teleport.
26.
Are you both teleporting?
Yeah.
I'll swim.
I'm just flying
You'll
over
swim.
them.
Can you do a will check for me? Because you're part cat, right?
Oh.
That's great.
So you guys keep saying I don't look like a cat. You know that, right?
But you have.
I have
cat features,
cat
like-
eyes.
So,
yeah.
but I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
is it part of your? Let's look at it this way. Is it part of your heritage going back that it's somewhat derived from a feline?
We just have
So
feelings. too.
how do you feel about
Like
your
disliking it.
Did you
water?
roll the 28?
I've been
Let's
okay
find
with
out.
water so
Let's
far.
find out
Well,
through
yeah,
a will
yeah.
check.
That's fine.
No,
Right?
no. If the 20 blows up, you can throw it too.
Feline
can roll it
tendency
again
is
also.
indicate.
Yep. So roll it
11.
again.
So,
That's
the bubble that's outside of your ship, you're trying to go out. You go outside the bubble, you touch the water, you lick the water, you push the water, and you go. And as you're swimming across the water to try and get into that other bubble, your hands do this. And you're going across, moving very, very slowly. You have a resistance, like you don't like the feeling that's encompassing you right now. Not the wetness, but just like, this is not familiar. I hang out in with horses and ships and some cool stuff and dirt, but being submersed in water,
Hang out with dirt.
this is not your thing.
It's true.
Water's not your thing.
Dude.
So your fingers are spread wide like claws. You have a tendency to revert a little bit. Okay? And your primal instincts are to resist and to jump out. But you fight through it. But all of them see this. Well, everybody sees this. Everybody sees it. She's like, I don't like this shit. I would like to sit back, drink a beer, and shoot something. Not do this. But all of you see this. You're not frozen, but you're moving very, very slow. Not scared,
No.
but it's like, this sucks ass.
Pretty much.
Teleportation. What'd you roll in yours?
19.
19? And you?
44.
44? Where the hell do you want to go?
He like bounces around just for fun.
he's
My planet.
he's spinning. Yeah, he
I know,
does
we
a
kind of
pirouette.
like abducted.
Basically just inside the air pocket.
So your teleportation is a little bit more aggressive. You're kind of pissed. Okay, so
Teleport could hurt.
let's look at it this way. Because you rolled so high, what would you like to do? I feel like you could teleport right in front of her face, his face, her face, and then be at your destination.
And
What would you like to do and express in front of hers, his, and hers before you get to your destination? What's your expression? So as you're doing this, Ditz, like this, you see Kragar just pop up going, right? And then in front of, all of a sudden, in front of you, you see this.
Oh, and in front of her, I do this.
You all get,
Negative
but here's the thing is, though, your culture has no idea what this means. Okay? Your two, they get it. But you're like, what the hell's wrong with him? It's like, I've got 5 fingers. It's like, what? There's no understanding. You're just like, what a douche. You're like, what are you doing?
I'm pretty sure
sad.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the mood was communicated.
The mood was, but
mood
you're
of
still
the
like,
gesture
I
might
don't
not.
understand what that means. It's just like, are you throwing 2 sausages at me? What are you doing?
We're pretty trained.
Yeah, I don't
She
get
goes,
it. She's just, you know he's angry, but you're like, what's wrong with you? The other two are like, all right, he's a little pissed off.
I'm sad because I want everybody to be friends. Sorry.
But that's the expression, and he does it very
Sorry,
quickly.
ripped your
Poof,
flesh
poof,
off today.
poof. And then you're standing inside of there. How would you like to stand there while everybody is still trying to motion towards where you're at?
I am going to basically just, like maybe, I don't know, 10 feet or so away from the air bubble or airlock.
but you're back to these guys.
Yeah.
He like
Okay.
farts in our general direction.
And then, I mean, just so they can't see, I'm gonna pull out that data pad. Not the data pad, but the other one.
Yeah. Well, it's on your data pad now.
Okay.
So you don't need that device. That device like transfers it to one data pad only.
I'll pull out that data pad and just kind of look to see if there's any new information or anything related to
The information on there is pretty straightforward. The map, a but a more crude version of the map shows up more in like a grid form, and you get a pulse in the pad that is in this basically the center of the map where you see that kind of cross grid. It's kind of the bottom right corner of that grid. You see kind of a pulse.
Okay.
But it's kind of like a green and black scope of it. It's not a nice map like this, but it's like a green and black, like an active GPS. And you see a pulse in that bottom right corner of the center square.
All in square?
The what?
All in?
Yes. But that's what you see on your data pad. You don't that device that he handed to you is basically turned dark and shut off. It's a weight now. No purpose to it at all. Once it's transferred the information, it's done. All right, and you have teleported with not too much issue, but do what is it? Do an agility roll.
Alright.
Did you roll what? Would you roll?
19.
19. Do an agility roll.
I rolled a. That's 26.
Okay, so your teleportation goes decently well. You're from one spot out of a wall into another wall into another place. And it's a little clumsy on entry, but somehow you get to have a superpower like superhero stance as you hit. I don't know how, but you go, and right behind you, you don't even see him coming through because you didn't know what he's doing. But on the kind of left-hand side of you, behind you, you can feel him kind of slide across. He's got that spread leg, fist on the ground. Doesn't know how he got there.
Nobody was watching.
And he looks totally badass, but you're right. Nobody saw it. And you are, what kind of form are you taking to get in?
I'm just like a little sphere.
And just pulsing forward. So without much, takes a little while to get there. So you arrive first, middle fingers up, checking your pad. He slides in. She's like pulsing kind of behind him. You see these two happen. And you're watching the whole thing. But you're like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever done in my whole life. These people are stupid. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're kind of cool, but this sucks. That's kind of their MO. It's like, she's not happy with these two yahoos. But him, he's like, he's all right. He's a little bitter, but I hate this situation. But you slowly get inside of there, and you're both looking at this large ship that's basically dusty and has been landed there for quite a long time. It has not been fired up for forever.
Hey, loot the ship. Kill the stuff. All treasures.
There's nothing going on. Pretty dead space.
You want to see if you can.
But this is the opposite side of where you saw a lot of crap. Opposite side of the whole facility. And it's bare bones.
So that ship is here or not?
Mm-hmm.
The whole ship.
It's there. It's just you can tell everybody. It's pretty easy to tell. It's like it's been there for a while.
As soon as Trillian go around with that, maybe we'll go checking this out and see what this, see where they.
Okay. Like you said,
I'm gonna take the water.
I'm just trying to regain your friendship. Whatever you say.
Oh, that's gonna be so creepy. So what are you trying to do with her?
Well, we know that we need Trillian because of her understanding of the ancient technology that's here, and maybe the ship was part of that. But she figured out how to use the other one pretty quickly. And so maybe we can update.
Ask her.
But we just research it. So
Basically,
okay.
yeah, see
Don't
if
you
we
just do
can,
it?
we can get
Do
this
it.
working.
Just look at it by.
Energy? Or just learn?
Yeah, it's a should be just a learning. Just a learning. It's fine. 21. So you see that the ship that you're currently riding, you know, your Picasso is not of the same lineage. What you're looking at is much, much older, and not been used for a very long time. We're talking maybe you want to put it Earth years. It's not a ton of Earth years. About 1,000 Earth years. There's been no need for it. You can tell is like the station works and is functioning. So there's been no need to pull in repair parts. It's been up to where it's up to code for about 1,000 years. That's what you're finding out.
I really went to Great
How much bigger is this?
I want to put it in the perspective of like a Millennium Falcon.
Is it still in working condition? It seems like it's still all
I don't know. You haven't checked anything out.
Is it a
That-
spaceship?
Can I push some buttons?
You know that it can transport off of the station and go somewhere. So whether it's a submersible ship or a flight ship, we don't know.
But it's not an open air thing like the one we're on.
We don't know. It doesn't have any of the same technology. The technology is different. You can see in the back of it is kind of its pulse, but it doesn't have those same kind of like treads and ski things that yours does have that pulses it up. It doesn't have that same
But is it
type of
because
blue
the
glow.
one we're on is not enclosed? At all,
No.
right? It's all
This one's fully enclosed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
fully enclosed. Like you have to get in it through a docking station. Like it's some sort of actual containment ship.
If we needed to put out on this, do you think we could get it open?
Can I do further learning, or did I do well?
Oh, if you want to research it and go inside of it,
Yeah, I'll go inside of it. That's more learning.
yeah.
Perception.
Change the fluids and
No,
spark plugs?
I only rolled 5. I just tripped on the
But
way.
well, in a sense, I mean, it's hard to open. It's not a. You've been your race has been around for a long time. Before the 1,000 years that this has been around, but this is from another side of almost the universe, right? So the technology may be how to drive it might be acquirable, but it's not something you'd be like, oh, I know how I can push this button and go from here. It is something you could learn over time.
Can I try
For sure.
to see if I know it?
Mechanically, yes. So I don't. That'd still be a straight up learning.
Alright.
I'm cool with the learning.
That's an 11.
Same concept. You know that it's made out of items that should fly, should go through water, should function. How to actually fly it, different. You could probably figure out how to build it before you could fly it.
That's good.
You know, being the what you are.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we could do that. Don't have much longer.
There's a turret to our right. Wanna go blow it up?
No, no, I don't retain our sneakiness.
So you're like, no.
Let's just look for
Well,
put people in the
is the artifact the purple thing on the map?
Yeah.
The main building?
On what map?
Oh, on the
Oh,
map.
you're talking about on this map here. You're talking about in the dead center?
Yeah.
No, he knows that only he knows that there's a blip on his device on the bottom right corner of that center. That center, you don't know what that is.
I would guess it's an energy. Like that's something that pulls
Yeah.
a lot of energy.
I remember them saying about like an ancient energy source that they have no clue where it
Well,
came from.
if you remember many sessions ago, this is where a lot of your transmissions were going through. It's kind of like a antenna. So remember, if you're talking about all your information was coming through this place. Going somewhere else, it's not like the hub of everything, but it bounces off of this place.
Yeah,
because
it's like
that's
a satellite.
your closest satellite station, in a sense.
Alright.
So
Transmission
this whole
station,
area is
0634.
pretty old and like dusty.
Very old, ancient, and self-sufficient. So the technology, and she found out like 1,000 years ago, the technology worked, so not a lot of people had to mess with it.
Okay. And it was the opposite corner where the doors were
Absolutely.
brought to the-
Could
Yep.
we see a lot of dust around there? Or
If you want to venture over there,
Let's see.
we can just go through the building? That's where I would shit.
Yeah, I
get
was-
sneak through the building.
Well, I know if I can use my tracking to see, find what detect tracks. If there's any traces of somebody having been through the.
Around the ship, and as a which direction you want to take? You want to take from the ship? I'm looking at the map. Do you want to take I'm gonna just do north, south, east, west. If that makes sense.
Yeah. let's-
Okay. You want to do a due east or a due south from the ship?
something to decide.
Okay. Due south, you don't see a lot of necessarily footprints, but you do see kind of some dust tracks sliding in that direction. Like something slid through that direction, but nothing like a footprint of any sort. It's pretty easy to see. It's like there's a lot of dust in here because the air filtration system after 1,000 years is not like amazing. And it
Filters are
doesn't,
clogged.
yeah, it doesn't need to be because it just needs to exist. So something not super fresh, but maybe within the last 3 to 5 days has slid through there.
We'll put the tracks out to the others. What do you think about this fall?
Sounds good.
I form a thumbs up. That's really
Like maybe
With your hook.
And the more you inspect it, you do see like a strange, like purplish blue inside of those tracks. And as you follow it, you will see. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, that's the right word. What a click. Come on. How is that?
Oh my god. No, I'm right there. This is eventually his favorite.
I know I was trying to make something awesome, but hold on, watch. I'll find the internet. And I found the internet.
That was fast.
But if it works for me, that's different. I was trying to make the sound up an alarm and I couldn't find it. But just deal with it. So what you're going to hear is as you're transporting into that next section there, you'll see at the end a large mass on the ground that's slid across this area. And you do hear a loud alarm starting to go off. And you see a large mass that you see in the distance. I'd like all of you to do an investigation, just do a perception. All of you.
Wait,
That's a 17.
I spotted too.
33.
Oh, what'd you get?
26.
What'd you get?
17.
Okay. You notice a large mass that has the discoloration of like a purplish blue on the end. You three can definitely make out that it's a Grundle. And you can tell that it's Oscar. And we're gonna end our
He's hurt.
session.
Ah.
No, not Oscar.
You fool!
I
What a
should have
dingus.
said he is my first. He was my first.
I was hoping only one would you would roll a high roll,
Pick was my
but
first.
because then one person would know. But 3 people knew. Yeah.
What trio is called? Oscar.
So yeah, there's a mess.
Do something.
You okay?
Well, that was fun.
I don't like the way I write my
Making me very
stories.
happy.
They upset me.
Is it because you murdered him
We don't
and you're
know.
sad?
There's some things. I was like, when I write stuff, I was like, I even make myself
I
sad
mean,
when I
his
write
whole
stuff.
face.
That's a little dark.
He's like one of like.
But we'll see what happens. All right, we thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully, you'll tune in next week,
Less salad.
and find out what if we called it seed to salad or seed to orchard, depending on what bag you're pulling it from.
Choose your side.
That could be a duration. Yeah. So thank you all for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed. If not, we'll put this on VOD and you can watch it later and make fun of us. So
Yeah.
we had a good time. I had a good time. I love seeing these people. I love seeing these people.
We ate some salad.
No, I'm telling you right now.
There's some salad.
There's some people I love being in my house,
Salad
and
house.
you four are freaking amazing. Hold on. You five.
She's immersed.
She's in that dimension of learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been there.
Those.
I created it. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All
Going
right.
back up.
Thank you very much. We will see you soon. We will see you, well, Time to Tabletop. We'll see you on Saturday. But new trippers, tune in next Thursday. We're going to be right here doing some silly crap. Hopefully we'll fix the universe.
Probably.
We'll
eat
probably
salad.
just screw it up, right?
Probably just eat salad.
This our first one will be a mess up, then our next one will also be a mess up, then our
Why
third
not?
one will be
Do
okay.
over.
The third universe will be fine.
This is, yeah.
Good luck, everyone.
It only takes 2 mice to
So
rebuild
are we
the whole
doing
universe.
7 o'clock next time or 6:30 next time?
We're gonna shoot for 7 p.m. So everybody that's viewing or whatever, I think as a team, let's shoot for 7 p.m. If we show up early, we might go live early just to dink around. But I think we go game wise at 7, and then go from there. So we will see you very, very soon. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Subscribe, follow, of course. We've been giving away some cool stuff.
Here's your seed salad.
So we did ride the jet ski tonight. Anybody want to do a jet ski smile or no? And we're out.